Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have any questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached.
Around?
That is one of the ways. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those of you that need instant gratification in this millennial-based world. And of course, the show's Twitter feed is at Skimpod. That's SKIMPOD. For the more patient amongst you, which is none of us, let's be honest, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again, being spelled with a K. We're also available via Apple Podcast, something I've never heard of, Stitcher Radio. Are any of you still using that shit? TuneIn Radio, whatever the fuck that is, I couldn't tell you. Google Play, I've heard of that. I don't use it, but if you do, thank you. Spotify, now that one I use, so find us on there. I know we're on there. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Now I ask that you please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show because honestly, I don't do that shit. And I need someone to pick up my slack. Now, I hear that there is a group of people here that collectively discuss music, and they provide for you, yes you, a pod called Cast. It's a musical discussion show built on a hip-hop foundation, which seems to be what makes the musical world turn these days, and I hear it's pretty swell. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and your host, Internet's Tasty Tayrell 713.
They hollering about time. That's what they told me. You want this money, don't be scared, ho, show me. Old school. I'm pushing hella flats. I'm working wheels, cracking seals, breaking pros back. Never change. I can't be Hollywood. I'm way too country, plus I'm bumping in my neighborhood fifth wheel. Coming out hard, cause all I wanted was some rims on the candy called Third Coast. Now what you know about? I keep it trill, never slipping, you should never doubt it. Pimp tight. Picture perfect frame. Never tricking on these dames. Refrain from being lame. Say it how I mean it. Get up on your feet like it's the first time you've seen it. Hello and welcome to it. It's Stage Crunchy and Milk, episode 382. And we're not taking historical losses here. I'm joined by my best friends, Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, the homeboy, the real ODP. But wait, there's more. It's my man Chaufie, all the way from the LBC in the building. What's hood, champ?
What's good, man? What's good to all you guys, man? I'm glad to be joining you guys again. I had so much fun the last time I was on. I know it's been a bit, but I'm super happy to be back. You guys are the best. Also, I got to say, I love how when T does his little rap verse, you all guys like kind of get silent like it's a sermon. Like he's doing like dinner prayer prior to the show. So that shit was beautiful. I felt that in my soul.
I'll be honest, usually he's like going over something that I've never heard before, so I tend to blank out and stare at my phone. It's not until about halfway through the first segment that my attention kind of snaps back into what we're actually doing.
I was really hoping you would flip the script this time and just try to spit a verse of Return of the Mac, but I got you. It's good.
You lie to me.
But I do.
I mean, or something Long Beach specific. Like, I mean, Gin and Juice is right there. A lot of Vince Staples.
Or how about some Lady Gaga lyrics?
Oh, well, I mean, yes.
Does she rap any?
I guess.
She's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there could be a Long Beach.
I mean, that
Jersey.
Kid Cudi Poker Face was like, that was a good one.
That was a very good song.
Isn't it?
I love that song.
Well, people, this week is the rare guest Oreo taste test. So yes, we have Oreo, the new Lady Gaga Oreo, here upon all of our desk.
We're gonna poke them into our face.
We have only ever had one other person who joined us for an Oreo taste test, and I believe that was Nick Jew of What's the Tea podcast fame.
I'm not allowed to talk about those Oreos, though.
Yet you are still so grumpy about it. What's that?
Angry at those Oreos.
You know how we gets down. It's about to be the unseal and all that good stuff. Turns out, as we did this last time, it was very loud, and so it takes a strong edit hand to make that happen. I guess I could have showed y'all. We all out here with these pink joints. I walked into my local Giant Eagle, which is a local grocery chain, to snag these the other day, and One person was at the door, your mask check man, and he was just like, hey, yeah. And then another lady walked by who worked there was like, they're gross. And I'm like, you don't
Not
understand.
your business.
Well, that really could have been that. And then I stood there and I immediately texted y'all to be like, are we testing these? And I waited and I was feeling uncomfortable. I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm sitting next to the the mask check man, and then I'm just like, I'm getting them. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. And then by the time I got like to the next aisle, Anthony texts back like, yeah, we testing these joints. So the Lady Gaga, my girl with the ghost face bird at the inauguration. Y'all know Lady Gaga.
In the words of Kevin Hart, Lady Gaga got them yams.
Came through with the Chromatica.
I'll do the side
focus.
view.
Give me that focus, camera. I want you to see this because it says Chromatica on one side, and of course, we say Oreo on the front.
Or got a heart.
Yeah, I got the heart.
I didn't get a heart. I got the one that says Chromatica on my.
I got a heart. I got a Chromatica. I got something that looks like something from like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, is that the thing she wore at the inauguration? Like, what is this?
What was that thing called?
Ouroboros?
No, Olmec.
Yes.
Yeah.
I meant more the snake eating a snake.
Oh, it's got green filling, a green dot filling.
Did you guys find that this packaging was tougher to open than usual?
Oh yeah,
it did some wrestle to it. I think that.
Yeah.
I was like, they thought people were going to collect these shit, so they were like, let's just wrap it up tight.
I like the see-through of the pink when you pop the lid. Like, it's kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look
it's
at that.
glossy on the shiny on the bottom, but then kind of see-through on the edges.
Like some nice lingerie.
Yeah.
So my Oreo tongs fell behind my file cabinet.
Damn.
But my kid put me on forever ago to a way to dunk your Oreos.
Did you guys watch the TikTok I sent you?
I saw the little Oreo tool, but I was like, well, I can do that with a fork. That's why you put me on the game. Ooh, I'm not even supposed to be dunking yet. I'm doing this taste test all out of order. It's chaos.
I just threw mine in there to soak up the almond milk.
Now I got to share this story too, because you guys know I work at a school, and I was set. I had an extra elementary school milk carton, and I was like, man, I'm gonna step up on the set with this classic carton right here. I forgot it in the fridge, so I had to run to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
But I am going to be using this type aguas mug. If you're not familiar in Spanish, this means like watch out. And shout out to the Chateria in Paramount. Get your Latino coffee shop shit. Support local.
I don't have
one
a
thing
fancy
Oreos
mug.
I got looking like Mewtwo. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, that's the one we were talking about. We were like,
oh,
what is this?
That's not. That shit look like look like a Pokemon.
Like, I see high heels on the bottom.
Oh, is that one? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I guess that's her wig. And then, I don't know, some sort of like long snake or something.
Oh, shit, you are right. Because this whole time I was like, oh, is this like it's an old lady, it's a young lady? Like, what am I looking at? I couldn't tell.
Like,
then I thought
is
YouTube.
Chromatica like the name of her new album or something?
I believe that is the case.
Okay.
So you know the deal. Weed them dry first.
I've read the comments on that Instagram post that Anthony sent us about these the other day. And everyone in the comments was like, they taste just like normal Oreos. The fuck they do? No, they don't.
They don't.
These taste very, very weird.
I've had this flavor before, and I can't pin it right now.
I think it's Trolls.
I swear to God, when I opened the package, I thought these were the troll ones we'd already done. They look just the same.
Yeah.
They
minus
taste
like the glittery specks.
They taste like those vanilla wafer cookies that are stuck together. That's the vanilla I'm picking up.
They do kind of remind me of Nilla wafers, yeah.
But you're talking about like the old lady ones, like you go to your grandma's house and it's like the super wafery and they're like little like Kit Kat wedges.
Yeah, the diamond pattern.
Oh, you're talking about like the sugar wafers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about like the ovally shaped Nilla wafers you put in like banana pudding.
Yeah.
My grandparents used to have those all the time.
Was your grandparents making banana pudding?
No, but they had the Nilla wafers around for eating.
Yeah, I was about to say that's some more black shit. that's another thing on the damn be hanging with black people tick off list.
Right.
You'll be eating banana pudding.
That's true, because I just was getting caught up, and when you guys were floored by his knowledge of the AITA.
Hey, that was like 9 years ago. You gotta forgive me, man.
I watched a YouTube video the other day. It was like white people go to a black cookout, and it made me realize I've never been to a black cookout.
No, I've been. That's just why. That's an experience. Now,
I've been to Puerto Rican cookouts, never black.
So why?
So walk me through the process here. First, we open the package. We smell them, smell what they're like. We had them dry, but we don't like to go in dry. We like to get a little moist, right? So is that the next step? Dunk it?
So, of course, you just tried the cream by itself. We did that. Mm-hmm. Now we are at the dunking phase. I just had one dunked.
Okay. Now, do you guys have like a thing that lets you know when your Oreo is ready?
It's a guesstimate at all times. The ones we had most recently, the brown cookie and the the Java chip. Even at the amount of time that we normally would let a cookie soak, they would not soften up.
I want to revisit that conversation from that episode. I have to say, post episode, since I have had a couple weeks now to eat the rest of those, the Java chip ones go up to a 2.5 in my book. The brookies stay at a 2 because they're just so fucking overpowering. Yeah. But the Java chip ones grew on me. The only thing I didn't really like about them was that, like, for a couple hours afterwards, when you would burp, the coffee smell would kind of linger. But the taste, it grew on me.
Telling you though, they do need to caffeinate some Oreos.
That would be the hit. Now, let me put you guys onto my methodology. Cookie, Oreo, into the cup. Till the bubbles are gone, 2 seconds. Spin the Oreo.
Oh, okay.
Till the bubbles are gone, 2 more seconds. Perfect dunk, in my opinion.
Oh, you're saying each side gets a little hit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So right now, it's in the mug, right? I'm dirty. I'm using my fingers, right? Turn it around.
Like an animal.
Redunk. Boom. Bubbles.
I don't
bubbles
count,
are happening.
but I don't count, but I do the same technique.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have to say, you know how long we've been doing this in quarantine. You know how many Oreos you've brought to my house. My girlfriend actually liked those the Java chip Oreos. Like the first one, she's ever like, "Oh yeah, those were good."
Huh. Interesting. They ate the brown cookie ones like they was going by like the weekend. And then, like, the Java chip was just hit the container, just hit the garbage. I saw it in the garbage a little bit ago, so that just went out today. Those just got finished up. So
who was eating them?
You see, my family went buck wild for the Java chip ones. They were out of control. They were just like, this shit's golden. And I was like, these cookies are whack. Like, it just didn't do it for me. It smelled better than it tasted. But the brookie ones, like, I didn't have the same anger towards them that you guys did. Like, that was like, man, they disrespected someone's mom in this podcast, and you guys were all backing each other up here. But they were better without the cookie itself. Like, because I tend to eat my Oreo separate. Like, I eat one part, and then I eat the filling, then I eat the other side. And when I just ate the filling part, then I could taste the layers. But all in all, it just made me want to have a double stuffed Oreo. So it still wasn't like this is 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. It was like, it's okay.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like the thing that disappointed us is it didn't really bring anything new to the table.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like way too much filling. It was like we said, it was just too much of a mediocre thing.
Yeah, it was on the definition of doing the most. Like, you're really doing the most without giving me much.
when I ate it as a cookie, like, none of the layers really stood out. It just became like a giant mess of things.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm saying. Not until I separate the cookie like I usually do, then I was like, oh, I could taste this, I could taste that. Have you guys ever eaten the Captain Crunch, like the fruity Captain Crunch?
like oops all berries.
Yeah. That's what these cookies taste like to me. The Gaga ones. Taste like the berries.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with they kind of taste like Christmas cookies. And I'm gonna be specific here. Y'all know the ones that they sell at the store that's got like the green and red sprinkles on them?
Yes.
The really soft ones?
Like the frosted
crispy ones?
No, the crunchy Christmas cookies that come in a bag
like the archways or whatever. Oh, okay, I know what you're about. Like,
I think they're made by Tasty Cake.
Tasty Cake does have some, but it's always some company that's selling it at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
like the red and the green is like a little sprinkle.
It's the little sugar cream.
They look like jewels. Yeah.
Yep.
I could see that.
And that's the kind of the flavor profile I'm getting off of these Gaga Oreo.
Which I'm gonna go with what my daughter said, because when she saw the package, which she's known they're going to be the Lady Gaga Oreos, and she goes, "Ooh, you got the Beyonce ones." And I said, "These aren't Lady Gaga," and she said, "I don't care." And I said, "Okay, I respect it."
Spoken like a true beehive.
Right, exactly.
And not to mention, the first thing
she turned 9 this week and said, "Put some respect on her."
Right,
name.
exactly.
Yeah, the first thing I think of is AKAs when I think of pink and green.
Oh, AKA. They are pink and green, aren't they?
They are. Man, you got me fucked up. AKAs are going to be buying a ton of these. Some of these
AKA Oreos.
Shit.
Holy shit. I ain't think about it. That's wild.
Man, Deltas are mad. They ain't got a cookie. AKAs finally get a win. At least in the West Coast, Deltas are heavy. So...
Aye. They took it westward bound. That's, I mean, the AKA stayed in like politics, so they held it down on the East Coast.
Yeah, Delta's out here heavy, throwing up the fucking rock all the time.
So she been throwing that dynasty shine. I don't know. I think we've eaten the cookies. Y'all know what the deal is. We take it around the bend. Gabe, we'll start with you.
I'm not very impressed. They're not very good cookies. They taste like that. What was that? Man, we've had this cookie before. It doesn't taste like regular golden Oreos.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it a 1.5.
Wow. Okay. All right. And go around to you.
Gabe, what the Swedish fish Oreo vibe?
I gave Swedish Fish like, I think I gave it a 0. It's my only 0.
Hey, we got the Swedish Fish, and nobody liked that in the house. Those bitches went to the trash. We were like, mm-mm.
Oh, they were terrible.
Hey. And what do you think, sir?
It's like chemicals.
Yeah. Okay, so I would give. Would you give them, Gabe?
I got a 1.5. They got a bad aftertaste. They're bitter in my mouth.
You know what? I gotta give him a 1. Like I wasn't gonna try to go below you because you seem a lot more mad about it than I am. But like, okay, I'll give them 1.25. Like they do have a very bad aftertaste. Like, I know my kids are going to eat them, but I'm not looking forward to seeing what color poop they're gonna have. Yeah, these are just like, they're nothing special. They taste very weird. Like it's like we got vanilla in the house, so we ain't going to McDonald's type vanilla. It's just so it's a weird vanilla. It's like I don't know, worse than dollar store cookies.
This food dye is not supposed to have a taste, but I mean,
this bitch is kicking. Like
it's not like a regular golden Oreo.
Like that food dye is dying. It's like I plan on waking up with pink eyelashes in the morning because it is, and I feel like this is the goo the Joker got pushed into that turned him white. Yeah. One.
Daniel.
I'm gonna go 2.25.
Really?
I thoroughly enjoy these things in milk. I think it's because like the milk tends to drown out a little bit of this aftertaste you guys are saying that you're getting, which like when I ate just the cream, it was a little overpowering with the dye taste. Like when I ate just the cookie, like it was fine, but it wasn't anything special in any way. Like I got a little bit of the vanilla taste, but it was like overpowered by the cookie dye. But when I put it in milk, man, like it's fucking fantastic. Like I've eaten like a row and a quarter now. Part of it's because I haven't had dinner, but I'm really fucking loving them in milk. Like the milk is just taking that bitter aftertaste you guys are getting and removing it, and I'm just getting this silky vanilla taste.
I don't taste the aftertaste you are proclaiming at all. These are really good, in my opinion. Not great. I'm not saying they're the best Oreo at all time. They're just a very tasty cookie. You said two. You said 2.25 bucks.
Yeah, because like I don't think they're as good as like a regular Oreo. Yeah. But like I do enjoy the milk. Like if I had to eat it as just a cookie, the score would be lower. But the fact that I like them so much in milk, I'm willing to get them close to my baseline.
Yeah, they really seem to sing. Oddly enough, is the turn of phrase I did not mean to use like that. They really do seem to sing in milk, and that is actually, I think, a good thing about Oreo. You know, they always claim it to be milk's favorite cookie, but these really do show out in milk, and I enjoy it. I'm going to give these a 2.5. I know that's not a huge high score, but I'm saying, I mean, they're not special. Let me tell you, we had those Easter Oreos last year, the ones shaped like eggs.
Mm-hmm. That's what these taste like.
They do not.
I think they do.
You are wrong. Those Easter ones were actually disgusting. The amount of dye they used in them fucked up the cookie, and the cream was just regular Oreo cream. So it was gross cookies on top of regular ass Oreo cream.
Yeah, those were rough.
And so they were horrific. Those are pretty much the worst cookies they've ever served up. And these are in no way, shape, or form anywhere near that. I feel like that was one of the last Oreos film recordings we did at Box's house. It was that was for, it's just wild how long ago that was. Man, the game, the COVID game has just wrecked us all. Chaufie, man, what do you think? We do it out of 5, as you know, and
well, I'm gonna say that I think you guys are all jaded by Oreos and maybe need to like step over to like some Hydrox for a minute. Maybe have a Chips Ahoy. Like, I don't know, something to just, you gotta, it's like when you get sushi, you gotta eat some ginger, cleanse the palate, start fresh, and be like, oh, fuck, I was tripping. I've been too harsh on this. Because I really feel like you guys, like I said, on the Brookies, coming out real angry. Easy, chill. In my opinion, I think that these, at a scale of 5, 2.5 being average, I feel like these are a 3.25. Wow. I like the smell. I like the flavor. I like that sort of fruitiness of them without that. They don't taste synthetic fruity. You know, like, yes, they're fucking cookies, you know, that taste like fruit, in my opinion. But it's not that like where everything fruity tastes like cherry. They don't taste like that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't get the same aftertaste, but what I do feel like they're lacking in some ways. You know, would have kicked these up a lot, and I think it would take a lot to call a 5 for 5, but they should have put, because it's Lady Gaga, the fucking the Crispies. Like, what was it? The moon ones that had the little Pop Rocky in them. That would have changed the game on these. Then it would have been like, that makes sense because she's this big star that's over the top. Like, it needed something a little more decadent to it, you know. And so
the thing, when I'm looking at it, and this is to piggyback off what you're saying, I kind of wish that it tasted more like cherries. Like I'm getting a little bit of cherry taste, and I wish it was like
just all the way over.
Yeah, I feel like if we were to do that with your Pop Rocks thing, I think these would fucking sing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You add that extra component to it. That's like, oh, it's a fruity. Oh, boom. Now you got an extra layer to it. So 3.25 is what I'm saying. I think they dunk well. They don't fall apart super easy. Sometimes they just like you get the dunk and you're like, now it's like full mush. They kind of hold some consistency. I did find that the filling though was a little more pasty than I would like.
Yeah, it's pasty.
Yeah.
I truly think that's the dye.
Yeah.
I think that the addition of dye always futzes with their cream. It throws their cream consistency off just enough.
When you look at the cookie though, you can plainly see how these were created separately with cream on both sides and then pushed together because there's clear breaks in the cream.
Yeah. Everyone in the box is like looks weird looking. Now, I'm gonna predict this now. Just ready for this? About a year or two from now, they change the cookies to purple, and then we get Joker cookies. You heard it here first.
Evil Joker cookies. And you are absolutely correct that we are harsh. We're just like, we're like Metacritic critics at this point when it comes to these Oreo games, and like you are out here, you're like the people's score.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And that's just like I said, we've been at this for a long time, so you gotta show out to get some love from us.
Exactly.
The gingerbread joints, I'm gonna repeat it again from Christmas, were amazing.
No, they
Kind of one of the finest Oreo I've had in years.
They were not.
And so they just were. They were doing it. And so
better than carrot cake.
It takes you. Yes, and I like carrot cake just fine. So
my favorite of that ilk were the cinnamon roll ones.
I didn't have those.
I feel like cinnamon roll ones. They were just, I don't know. I think they still sell those. I feel like they might still sell those.
Like they're a regular.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Peanut butter pie.
Yeah, that cream, that cream cheese filling on those were pretty perfect.
I gotta try those out.
Like the right amount of sour, the cinnamon shortbread on there was pretty good. It was really good.
Now, not to take over the scene, I got a question for you guys. If you could bring one back, what would it be?
Fruity Crisp.
Let's go with T.
Yeah, the Fruity Crisp joints were still remain my favorite of all of the ones they made. Before they made them Fruity Pebble ones that they made with chocolate cookies, they had Fruity Crisp ones that I literally drove to another state to get before they eventually ended up going on sale here. But when they first came out, they were a Wegmans exclusive, which is a store. It's an East Coast kind of grocery chain. But there was one which is about, how far would you say Erie is from here?
About 2.5 hours.
Yeah, so I drove we were already in Pittsburgh, and I was like, well, we already out here. You want to head up to Erie and see if we can find this Wegmans and see if we can find these cookies. And I did. We were in Pittsburgh for an A$AP Rock concert.
Now, funny thing is, I've never heard of this grocery store before, except for this week where I heard it twice. Listening to the Bodega Boys, they were talking about how they wish they had one by their house, and then now you.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, now I got to Google this. Now, Dan, which one would you want to bring back?
This may be an unpopular choice for some, but the churro mystery ones that they had.
Really?
I really enjoyed those. Yeah. I know that like not everyone did, but I really liked them in milk.
Respect it.
Yeah, they were pretty good. How about you, Gabe?
Oh, I'd like the what was the Rice Krispie ones. They weren't called Rice Krispie though. What were they called?
Crisp Rice.
Yeah, they were just. I think they just reversed it because that's what I was going to say was going to be mine.
Yeah, because Crisp Rice is like
it might have been.
It's like a marshmallowy kind of cream, and they had like those really popped in milk.
Yeah, I think they might have called them marshmallow crisp Oreos. I'm going to double check right now.
I was going to say that was going to be mine in the end. Was like that one, like hit a lot of parts that were really delicious. How about you, Anthony?
Well, I would bring if I'm gonna go, I will go with ice cream berry burst Oreos.
Those are good.
Or which were a regular Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we tried them on like our second episode. Like one of it was like very very early on.
That was 4 houses ago for me.
Yes,
that was one of the earliest Oreos we tried.
I think we did them at that house. Actually,
We did them sitting around that table in the guy we talked about last week's house. Mm-hmm. So you are.
They also had a strawberry milkshake one that I really
those
enjoyed.
were good too.
Yeah.
That was around the same
the
time.
berry version remind me of.
And then, oddly enough, the popcorn was it the kettle corn ones?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the finalists of the submit a flavor.
It had the little piece. Yeah, the little pieces of what's
Millet.
Millet, the same as Sugar Smacks.
Yeah.
Those were good. Or of course, like the I call them the Fruity Pebble ones, but not the Fruity Pebbles with the actual Fruity Pebble inside the cream.
Yeah, not the Fruity Pebble cream flavor with chocolate cookie. That's a terrible idea.
And what it is the Marshmallow Crispy ones kind of work like the Fruity Crispy ones, except the filling was Fruity Pebbles inside the cream filling, and it worked. It just worked. It had that bite of crispiness to it, and like the fruity flavors. I'm saying it should have just been Fruity Pebbles, and then they just managed to fuck it all up by putting Fruity Pebbles in a chocolate cookie in. It's a sin and a shame. Yeah. Fruity Crisp Oreos, the champ, still my top Oreo ever. So that's how he gets down. But there you go, people. We tried some more Oreos. That's how we do. You, my patrons will of course see this. You want to get down? Probably should consider becoming a patron, and you too can watch us shove cookies down our maw and then talk wild greasy about them afterwards. That's what we do.
I shaved my head just for you people.
I have a hat on just for you people.
I changed my
I
outfit.
just pulled my titty out.
I put an even worse shirt on.
So it dawned on me last time we had my man Chaufie on the show that we kind of just was like, all right, we're doing the show and my man's on here, and we didn't really, walk through introductions and life stories and so forth and so on. So I figured this go around, I would do a better job as a host, set the table for a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And have a discussion with my man about who he is and how he gets down and so forth and so on. Because that's how we roll. I think I came across Chaufie, or Chaufie came across me from Mommy Gamers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we end up bumping into each other, and just been riding since. It's wild, but that's just how it works out. And we find just about every week now some other shit that we got like wildly in common.
Yeah.
So it's just like
We really
man,
are the like living version of the fucking Spider-Man gif, just or the meme, just
Pointing at each
all
other.
the time. Like when you did that little ball thing back and forth, I was like, I got this on my phone.
Anthony gave that to me, and it truly is the delight of my entire family. I will be like sitting in another room, and all of a sudden I'll just hear the Newton's cradle going click, 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 and I'm like, somebody else done walk by tapping the Newton's cradle.
It's great. It's fascinating.
So,
Well, hit me, Larry King. What question did you got? What you want to know?
I mean, in general, so okay, I know Chaufie is a happily married man, 2 children,
That's right.
kicking out on the West Coast. He's an educator, and if you're wondering, he's of Mexican descent. You know what I'm saying, and your wife is Puerto Rican and white.
She's Puerto Rican, and then a mix of things. Her dad really doesn't know her background, so they just know there's like some Irish in there. But we just pretty much ignore that aspect of her, and just it's just we're a Mexican family. Like even my kids are just like, we're good.
Yeah. All right, siblings. How many siblings you got? I know of one.
Oh, you want me to get hot? You want me to start talking shit right out the get go, motherfucker? Okay, we're doing this. Damn. Triggered. I got one sister. Okay. So peep this. Let me go way back. So when I was like, I think I was like 5 years old, and my memory goes way back too. Like I can remember like super far back. My parents got in a really bad motorcycle accident. Like they went out for my mom's birthday dinner, and they're on a motorcycle, and this van like on the boulevard just backed out, and my parents slammed into it. My dad hit the back of the truck. I think he broke his arm possibly, or just his leg. My mom broke like every fucking bone, knocked out all her teeth. Like her hip bone popped out of her leg. Like she got jacked. She was in the hospital for like a year. She was super wrecked. Everything was just like broken. And then, and so the reason why I tell that is to tell this years later, tons of like, trying to have another baby, miscarriages, shit like that. Finally, one sticks. And so then, my mom is like in the bed for the whole, like almost the whole pregnancy. And they realize she can't go full term because her pelvis is just like jacked. And so then they go, hey, we're going to give you a gift for your birthday. Your sister can't be born in January like how she's supposed to. So we're going to have her on your birthday, which I've now been as like an only child for like 10 years. So I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like number one, I didn't ask for this. Number two, I don't want this. Like, what do you mean? So also my birthday is 5 days before Christmas. And sorry if any of you guys are like some religious folks out here. Okay. You grow up with a poor family, you're getting double fucked on Christmas because you're getting a Christmas birthday gift. And then at that, if you're like, shout out to my Mexican family members, but also you guys are cheap as shit because they will buy you a pack of socks and then be like, 3 of these are your birthday and 3 of these are Christmas. And I'm like, it's the same. Like, what are you doing? It's the same pack. Like, why do you do that? So then boom, my sister comes around and then I went from having like my own birthday cake to then the next year we split a birthday cake to then the following year, ain't no cake. Like it's all my sisters. So it just slowly, I tell my sister all the time, between you and Jesus, I'm fucking pissed at the end of every year. Like you guys dogging me out nonstop. So man, you asked the wrong question. You got me hot.
One, I knew of the sister. I didn't know if you had any more.
I think that's when you texted me recently too, and I was like, you said something about my sister, or I said something, and I was like, man, don't make me fucking go there.
So I don't know if you had additional siblings.
So it's just me and her, but it's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys have age gaps with any of your siblings, if you have siblings, but like we honestly like, shit, I'm 45 now, and we like barely like started talking regularly like this year, because you got to think of it this way. Like when I was 18, she was 8. I was out the door. You know what I mean? And then she like, my parents live like 2 hours away from here. And so when I came to Long Beach, I never looked back. Like my mom still to this day is like, so when are you moving back? And I'm like, I moved to Ventura County. Lost your goddamn mind. No. So it's just, but so we just like have always lived separate lives, you know? So it's just kind of weird.
So you've been in Cali for life, you know what I'm saying?
That's
I
right.
guess you still, Ventura County. Is that north, south? Where's that?
North, it's about 30 minutes below Santa Barbara. Born in Santa Barbara. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. You ever get a chance to visit and you don't want to pay for Hawaii, go to Santa Barbara.
Really?
Yes. Because I didn't like going. We went to Maui the year before last, and I was not impressed. Not because because it was just like, I've spent so much of my life in Santa Barbara that I was like, oh, this beach is like Santa Barbara. This restaurants are like this. It's just, I was like, I can just fucking save money and go to Santa Barbara. Shit's tight. And not have to fly. I hate flying. So
Fair point. Or the only thing Santa Barbara I remember was the I used to watch the soap opera.
Oh yeah, man, back in the day, that's right.
They had that one brother on there, man. Bruh.
Blair,
I can see him. I know who you're talking about.
You know that Latin cat? He's probably one of the first Latin dudes on the soap opera.
And he used to be the one dude everywhere.
Yeah. I want to say it's A. Martinez. But then I'm thinking that might be a baseball player, and I feel that's kind of racist.
What's his name? A-Rod? You know what? Let's stop it. Keep it moving.
No. See, now I'm going to have to look it up. Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but it's beautiful out there. If you guys ever want to do a vacation and really get you can do a lot in California, especially Southern California. You want to see the city, go to LA?
Your man was right. His name was A. Martinez.
Oh, really?
And he played Cruz Castillo.
Always a Cruz. So they did us. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, holy cow. I really did pull that from the Nethers. My man is 72 years old now.
Yeah.
God bless him. Holy cow.
But so let me give you this next layer too. You know me, I'm out here skateboarding regularly, even though I'm old as shit. But that's kind of what brought me down here as well. I had like been accepted to like 4 different colleges, and I was like, okay, let me see which one I'm going to go to. And one day I was kind of feeling sick, and so I went to my local skate shop, and I was like, this is back in the VHS days. So I was just like, hey, I feel shitty. Like, let me get some videos. I'm going to go watch at home. And then of the 4 videos, 3 of them had a lot of footage filmed at Cal State Long Beach. And I was like, going to Long Beach. And then just,
Right on.
that was like my deciding factor. And so then I just never turned back. But I knew people down here, like the girl I was dating at the time that we went to high school together and stuff like that. She was actually the first one to come down here, but I still wasn't sold. It was like on the videos. Yeah. And then, but it's a beautiful city. It's like super ethnically diverse. Like I really don't have to go far to get a lot, you know? So I love my city.
I fuck with it. I enjoyed my brief time in Long Beach was lovely, and I like I always be like, yeah, I could go back to Long Beach. I hate the highways around California just in general.
Well, it's an adventure. It's an adventure, man.
but Boston is still worse for driving, and so I'll tell you that straight up. So the problem with California is it's kind of don't move, but Boston is like it's just chaos. So that's why I don't fuck with Boston driving.
Yeah.
So you're an educator.
Yes.
You what made you think, man, you know what, I need to kick the truth to the youth and say, hey youth, here's the truth, better start wearing bulletproof.
I'll actually tell you what it was. It actually is like 2 like major teachers, but actually really one to give the most credit is this man, Robert House. And I don't mean this in the color sense. Mm-hmm. This was the biggest, blackest man I'd ever met. And when I say, like, for the time, he was just very, like, the history, the knowledge, the information. He came from Louisiana. His transfer was from Louisiana up to, and I remember this to this day, Louisiana to Georgia to Kansas City, then to California. And so he brought all that with him. And he was just larger than life. But then he had layers, because he also produced a show for like PBS. His stage name or his production name was Robert LeMay. And then he's like, yeah, you go by LeMay because, you know, it's gold. And I was like, fuck, you're flipping the script over here. Just dropping shit on me. And so he did like a math entertainment show. And he's like, you could do whatever you want. And you got to remember, this is like, I think it was my 6th grade teacher. And I went to a K-6 school. And so this was 1987-ish. And he just like, it just made a huge impression on me. And he was just like, teaching isn't about like, read this book, do this math. Like, it's about getting you ready for life. Like, and so that like struck me in a way that's like, educators don't have to be lame asses. Like, you could still be a person. You can still impart knowledge on people that's about real life shit and not about like lecture, or do these activities. And so he was like the biggest impression on me. That dude was like amazing. And so then I was like, I think I want to do that. Like, I think I want to know that at least I helped grow a generation of people that might do something better in the world and not just be whack, you know? So when I started teaching, I would tell my kids, like, you're going to learn to read, you're going to learn to write, you're going to learn some math, like, you're going to learn all that stuff, and that's going to be great. But what I want to know is that when I see you cruising down the street, hanging out with your friends 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, that you tell me, I stayed out of trouble, I made good choices, I gave back to my community, I tried to be the best person I can do. For me, that's more valuable, you know? Yeah. And then, weird side note to this, years later, getting fucked up in a bar, is that you? And I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like getting wild faded, and they're like, I got to tell you about the great things I did in life. I'm like, I'm trying to get drunk. Like, so that's what inspired me. That's what really, and now going from a teacher where I was like, I can inspire these kids in my room, to then I became a curriculum coach where it was like, I'd worked with teachers, kind of supporting them, and just really thought, how do I keep expanding my reach? Like, I can inspire 20, I can inspire 60, I can inspire, the kids in the school. And now if I can build the teachers, then now I got like total number of kids in my school is about 450 kids right now. And so my reach is going from the teachers to them, you know?
Yeah. Fuck with it, man. Love it. I would love to fucking hear it, bro. That's what I'm talking about, man. So, let's see if I have to dig in it. I mean, you feel free to jump in any of y'all if y'all have any questions. I'm just like,
you
I'm
guys don't
saying.
know. I love Puerto Ricans, Gabe. You know it. Give me some fucking, some tostones, some amarillos. You know what I'm saying, man? Hit me with some mofongo. I'm with that shit.
So do you prefer rum over tequila?
Man, why you gotta hit me
Put
with
you on
that?
the spot. That
No. Wow. You know what? Actually, I do. Because I feel like rum has more notes. Let's take it back to the Oreo. You know, this product would be better if it had more. You know, some elements to it. Whereas like rum tends to have a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of smokiness. You know, it's got some variety in there. You can really taste like how it was built. Where like for me, tequila is very much a one note, you know? And the only way I can describe it is like cloudy. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, I would go rum first.
I know rum and coke is going to be my next smit of flavor to Oreo when they have the contest again.
That actually wouldn't be that bad though when you really think about it. A rum and coke.
Maybe some real alcoholic Oreo.
Yeah, for real.
They make the liqueur that tastes like a what rum drink does it have in
Daiquiri?
a mojito.
Yeah.
It's a mojito liqueur that's non-alcoholic.
Is it the skinny can or the regular
Skinny can?
Okay.
The tall boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
It's delicious.
Yeah, because we always got the liqueur in my house.
I want you getting getting fucked up off some cookies.
Yeah, right.
I'm currently sitting on that. Well, I'm hitting on that. Aha.
Okay, so talk to me about those. The ahas and the bubblies. I've been hearing great shit about those.
Bubbly is I promise you, it's pretty much just any fruit flavor that Pepsi makes, sans sugar.
Okay.
So it tastes just like what the hell is their spray? What is Pepsi spray?
Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist. Tastes just like Sierra Mist with no sugar.
I hated myself.
You said slice. You took it
Wow,
back.
I know I'm old.
It used to be slice, so not like you're wrong, but yeah, it was so it tastes just like Sierra Mist with no sugar.
Okay.
And not like diet tiramisu, like you know how we get down, but you know how fizzy water goes. Aha's aunt put me on with a tall can of these at work one day, and whenever I'm at Target, I see them in the cooler at Target. I normally just grab one. This is the citrus green tea. I like it. It's got a nice complexity of flavors, and I fuck with that one. It's ever so slightly caffeinated. But it's nothing. It's like I'm. Who cares? I'm off tomorrow, so I can be up all night.
Hey, shit! I'm taking tomorrow off too. I was like, work's got me mentally exhausted, so I was like, I ain't doing shit. So that means tomorrow, you and I, we're finally gonna play some Fortnite.
I'm supposed to be working on well, we'll talk about that shortly. We'll get into that shortly.
Now back to the drinks though. You guys ever drink those the Topo Chicos?
Yeah.
Yes.
And those things are delicious, especially the lime one. Man, it's got a good flavor.
I like the lime one. Vanessa did not like the lime one. And I want to say one of my kids fucked with it, and the other one was like, nah. I think Xander fucked with the lime Topo Chico. So he's a citrus kind of guy.
Yeah, I want to find a grapefruit kind. But
I got those.
I would like to find those here.
I suggest, because they're hard to find, but let me ask this first. How many Targets do you have near you?
Oh, like 3?
Okay.
So many.
You said so many. I'm just going to tell you right now, within a 5-mile radius of my house, I have like 8.
Damn.
Like, we got a gang. We got more Targets than GameStops. It's bananas.
But it's like literally millions of people within your breath. Yeah. So I mean,
that's why I wanted to ask though, because I know some people, like when I've talked to people like in Ohio too, and they're like, I got like 1 Target, and I'm like, what?
Oh,
like, what do you mean?
Man.
Anyways, use the Target app and then search the one.
Yeah, you just narrow down which one got it and go to that.
Because that's how I ended up getting mine, and then I just do the pickup because they're hard to find around here. And so I might find them in one location, and then it's like they don't have them again until I go to another. So I suggest using that Target app.
Target. But they still might be regional because like it's certain chips and stuff like that that's still out there. Like I heard that out west they still have Cool Ranch Fritos. and we haven't had them in years.
I didn't even know that a Cool Ranch Frito or Dorito.
Frito.
I have never heard of that.
Oh yeah, that's the shit. They was the shit.
Which I did have Cool Ranch
from
Doritos today, and just always, whenever I eat them, reminds me of Danny Brown when he said snake puss smell like Cool Ranch Doritos. So I can't eat them.
Yeah, Danny Brown always rapping about pussy.
You do.
He don't like stank pussy, but he
on
on
one train, he said, "Bitch, pussy smell like a penguin."
I mean, you got to call it what it is.
I guess, man. Maybe Danny Brown fuck with some hoes. He probably should
right,
be.
exactly.
Sorry.
You got to have standards, my man.
Can do better.
And he knows what his penguin smells like, which I don't.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine, fair enough.
Well, every time I've encountered a penguin, they've been behind glass, and I can't smell them through the glass.
We went to Toronto Zoo, and they had this huge penguin enclosure, so I kind of caught the vibe. Mm-hmm. So I guess I gotta tell you what a penguin smells like.
Yeah.
How about a penguin's enclosure at the Toronto Zoo? I can tell you what that smells like. But that don't work in the verse. Bitch pussy smell like a penguin enclosure at the Toronto Zoo.
Yeah.
Doesn't flow as nice as bitch pussy smell like a penguin.
That's a little more on the MF Doom level. Like three lines down, it'll connect.
All of a sudden it comes to you like, oh, shit.
Strangely enough, the funkiest animal I came across was a beaver at the Cleveland Zoo. My kids still talk about how bad that beaver smelled.
Wait.
So
are we talking about Danny Brown beaver or like the animal?
I'm talking about real beaver, but I mean it works on both both levels.
Spitting.
So you know that is beavers excrete a
vanilla.
Castorium is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's used for everything from vanilla to raspberry, all kinds of things along the spectrum there. So oftentimes you'll see natural flavors, and they can just get away with that because it's naturally from a beaver's ass. But
just some beaver nut?
It's anal gland.
It's from its anal gland. It's called castorium. You go read about that and just be grossed out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And, watch what you eat.
I mean, I know you guys really be about booty stuff over here. We had like dinosaur cloaca. So like
wisdom, you'll say we got that
right,
knowledge
exactly.
going out
hey,
there.
I
so
really did learn something though. I was like that gift. I was like, oh. I need you guys to link me to that article because I actually really do want to read it. That was like super fascinating.
I could certainly. I think that it's definitely in my email somewhere because Ed sent it to me. All right, so I guess how did you get into the podcasting game? What made you say, "Fuck it, I want to do this"? Everybody else seems to be doing it or whatever. Or what you want to do was like, "No, I was doing it before anybody was doing it."
No, you know it was. I actually really wanted to start podcasting like way the fuck back when because I had a friend who he had the wildlife. I have this friend Steve. We've been friends for like forever, and he's one of those guys that like no matter how wild life is, like he always lands on his feet. Mm-hmm. Like you're just like, how? I don't know how you made it through this. And so his baby mama, like, peep this. Her dad owns a fence post company. Her mom owns a chain link company. They refer to each other making money. And then they go like, look, I know the guy over here with the post. He'll sell them to you for dirt cheap. So they got a gang of money. So she lived in this penthouse in the Beverly Hills. And so he was just living off of her. So back in like, I'm talking like early like Kevin Smith podcasting. Like we were going to get into it then, but just could never really find the time and stuff like that. And so it was just like, but I really wanted to do it because I like talking to people. Like I like cutting it up and just like, just bullshitting with friends, so which is why I really enjoy your guys' show because it's just like I said before, like it's like being a fly on a wall. Or when you guys used to be in like restaurants and shit, it was like if I was on the other table, like what are these guys talking about? So but what
had that
but
we also had people get up and leave.
Yeah. But so then like years and years, it's always finding the time too. And then I'm kind of a little bit of like self-defeating. So then I'd be like, nah, I can't do it. I don't have time to do it. I'd always find all the reasons why I couldn't do it and just why people wouldn't want to listen. And then my homie Sean, who does his ETMF podcast, similarly to Terrell, like we started, we hooked up. He was on a podcast. I heard his, he heard me. We just like linked up online. And then same thing. Like he and I like to this day now we text like every day. His family actually came out to California once for like a family trip, for our families together, had Mexican food together. She was delicious. But then we started Games We Don't Pod, and because we are Games We Don't Play, because we wanted to talk about games and like how we didn't have time to play them. And then I sunsetted that early, like mid 2000, and then brought back Cadillac on Mars, which is not so gaming centric, and now it's just like you guys, which I steal your shit all the time. Added a child on my ending credits. I've used "Am I the Asshole?" You know, I'm stealing stuff. So, but it's just more in respect because you guys have a great show. But I just, you know, then from there, which has been getting good feedback and good traction. So if anyone wants to listen to Cadillac on Mars, you can hear me, my homie Delvin Cox, who's got like 1,000 other shows, and we just kind of kick it and just talk about shit, you know, because it's like it's hard when you get older and you want to hang out with your friends and you got kids and wives and whatnot, and it's like just to make time is a challenge. So, and also I don't like any of my friends in real life, like the people I know. I'm like, you guys are whack as fuck. So, but my internet friends, man, you guys are the shit.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll, man. Well, there you go, people. That's my homeboy. That's Chaufie. That Chaufie on in these Twitter streets. You know what I'm saying? He hosts Cadillac on Mars. It is dope. Comes out once a month. Comes out on the first thus far. Every first of the month since he started driving.
And I hope that when you listen, you play Bone Thugs in your head. Like that's actually the goal. So when my wife asked me, "When's your show coming out?" I immediately go into, "It's the first of the month."
It's the first of the month. Gotta grind. Gotta get mine, people. Yeah. That's how we roll.
That and Ace of Base is song. 2 songs about welfare.
Ace of Base had a song about warfare?
What?
Oh, is that the song that All She Wants Is Another Baby?
Really?
Yeah, that's supposed to be about a welfare queen.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow. Looking at Ace of Base kind of side eyes right now. I didn't realize they was on
Yeah, some Trump shit early, huh?
Yeah, just some breaking like the welfare queen driving around in a Cadillac.
Yeah. Now, what were we going to ask, Anthony?
So, yeah, you live in California. What do you have any celebrity stories?
I got a ton. I used to have fucking house sit for celebrities. I'm out here.
Oh, let's hear these.
Whatever your favorite story is, we'll like to hear it.
Shit, my favorite story. I got to play basketball with Shaq.
Really?
Yeah. So
he dunked on you?
No, he literally dunked people. Like,
oh wow.
So back in the day, a good friend of mine was like a producer or audio engineer and roadie for do you guys remember 311?
Yes.
Okay. So he would bring me in, and this was like perfect. I was in college and broke as shit, and they would give me like, here's $10,000. We're getting ready for tour. We need you to buy like 500 towels from IKEA, and I would just buy all their shit for them. And then they'd be like, you can buy like your groceries too and whatnot. So I was like, damn, this is awesome. But on a video shoot, we went down to like, do you guys know the fucking Howard Hughes Spruce Goose? It's like that big ass plane.
Yes.
It's like, it used to be warehoused in this big dome. Now they film shit in there. Like, cause it's perfect it's quiet, it's sealed. You can do all kinds of fucking CG shit in there. But so 311 was recording a video in there. And this is when Shaq was first coming out as like Shaq Diesel. And so he pulled up because they did eventually 311 did they did the music for his album or something like that. And but yeah, he came through and he pulled up in his like Ford Explorer, but he sits in the like there's no driver's seat because his driver's seat is in the rear row passenger seat. And so it just looks crazy because there's a passenger seat in the, up front, but it's just that one's missing so he can reach it. It's fucking bananas. But he got out and he was a fun dude. He was hooping with everybody. He was picking up the musicians and like literally putting them in the fucking hoop. Like you could see this like online too, because they had like a video documenting it and stuff like that. And that shit was crazy. But
yeah, it looks like this happened in 2001.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Was that during his...
Shaq and 311 get Psycho on stage in LA.
Yeah, then right after that, it was like a couple weeks later, they did the K-Rock acoustic, Weenie Roast, and then they did their show live on stage. Yeah, so that was really awesome. And then I used to house sit for one of the guys in the band in LA. When Jackass was really, really huge, we had there's this restaurant called El Compadre in LA that's like super awesome. Oh yeah, Kat Corbett. She's a DJ out here. Yeah, that's at the Weenie Roast. Those were the days, man. But yeah, this is when like Steve-O would do like his like dick watch thing, you know? And so it was like me, and my wife was like, I think we were still dating, or I think she might have just been like my fiance barely at the time. And we're sitting there, and they all come up to the table because they thought that we were a different table. Like they were fucked up out of their heads. And he was like, hey, you want to see what time it is? And then Wee Man came over, and he was like, Colin, that's not them. That's not them. I had one weird encounter where it was like Joaquin Phoenix was in that Johnny Cash movie, right? Was it Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, Walk the Line.
His wife in that, it was her, it was Amanda Bynes. It was like that crop of like young actresses. They were like super drunk out of their heads, and then they couldn't find their car. So then they came over and got me, and they were like, are you parked in our spot? And I was like, I took a cab over. Like, I'm not in a car. And then they're like, okay, well, we just need to sit down and we need to talk. And I'm like, I don't know, like, what are you guys talking about? And these girls are like, they're the hot shit at the moment. And I'm like, what is going on? You know? Yeah, but it's like interactions like that where like, you can really just be like in the most randomest spots and just like you see people to kick it with, like what's his name? Is it James Marsden? No, that's fucking Red Dead. But that's the guy who was Cyclops.
Yeah, is that not James Marsden?
Is it James Marsden? Yeah,
I think so.
I've had lunch with and near him because I'd always go to this one sushi place, and then you just sit next to you, just start bullshitting with each other and stuff like that. So it's not like the stories are wild as they are just like, that's so-and-so. Like, so I have seen Joaquin Phoenix. I had, I think the biggest one that blew my mind was sitting at a sushi bar. And so I was at the corner, and on the other corner was Rick James. And I couldn't fucking like eat. The whole time I was just like, and this is, I'm Rick James era. So he's made the resurgence, and I'm just like, but for me, I'm like, that's what I grew up on was fucking, Mary Jane, like all that shit. So it was just like my youth and then my fucking, or my childhood and like my college years came together. That shit blew my mind. So yeah, being in California, you do see a lot of that. My cousin was like best friends with Michael Douglas. Or Michael Douglas's son. So we used to go over to Michael Douglas's house, and this is when he started first like got married to like Catherine Zeta-Jones. So we went to Santa Barbara Hills, and we were there, and I was just like, it's just those things where I wonder sometimes like, the fuck did I get here? Like this is
Did you watch him get throat cancer?
I did. Because it was crazy.
Did he really get cancer from eating pussy?
I don't think he did, but that was what he said.
Right. So yeah, I mean, so California is a really interesting place. But I've never, there's only a handful of times I've really been starstruck, but the majority of the time it's just like, oh, that's so-and-so. And you just kind of like, because you see them so often too, that it's just like, I'm just going to let you live your life, like do your thing. It's cool,
Dude.
I did fact check that about getting cancer from eating pussy, and
it's possible.
It's plausible, but you got to eat a lot of pussy.
Is it just like HPV in the throat? Is that what happens?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if he actually got it from sucking dick and he just said it was pussy to throw you off the trail?
Sure, I guess that could be funny.
Made me laugh.
Oh, that wasn't meant to be funny. That was meant to be thought-provoking.
Yes. I do want to bring this up, too, about living in Southern California, because this was a topic on your most recent podcast, why Anthony doesn't sound hood to you guys. Because he sounds California. Like, so to me, it didn't sound straight. I was like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Like, he sounds like everybody I know. But you sound like you're more West Coast, you know? Which when you talk to people like who don't live in the West Coast, they always, whenever they do the sort of urban slang twang, it's very country, like very like Texan. And it's like, that's not how we talk out here. Like, that's not what it is. But you have more of a West Coast sound than anywhere else, in my assumption.
I did listen to a letter Dub C in the Mass Circle.
See, there you go. There you go. So you guys were talking about it. I was like, nah, he sounds just like how he looks. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
But the shadest kind of nigga acting motherfucking fool. Peacoats, brownies, house shoes, and hair nets.
I mean, you know, E40.
I do get what you're saying. Like, when you run into like people who are Southern, they all sound the same. Mm-hmm. Like, especially like in certain areas, like you can't distinguish between white and black because it's just Southern. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I get that.
Yeah.
Perspective to it, man. See, I should have introduced y'all to Chaufie last time, and y'all could have been hip, but now you are hip, and I've done the service and introduced him properly to you all now. So next time we come back around, y'all will be like, "Oh yeah, that dude, he's great."
I plan to be back. I plan to be back a lot.
Put some respect on his name, but you know how we roll, man. I got a couple of stories of. I don't get much to read you the story of this particular one. I'm just gonna read you this headline because it made me go, "Wow, that's wild for the night." Feds charge family who formed dozens of fake farming companies in Northeast Ohio to get $7.4 million in coronavirus aid.
Oh,
it's by my man Vince Gregorczyk over at Scene again this week. He must just write everything at Scene. It must be like a one-man operation over there. But I don't need this some old European shit. Zaur Kalintarli and some of his family members have been charged via criminal complaint with wire fraud by the feds for allegedly registering dozens of fake farming businesses in Northeast Ohio and then using those businesses to apply for millions of dollars in federal coronavirus aids. All told, some $7.4 million in loans and grants, the vast majority received via the Small Business Administration's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Programs, were dispensed to 72 businesses like Ohio Organic Berries, Ohio Red Wiggler Worms, and Garlic Farming LLC that existed only on paper and whose listed addresses were one of 3 homes in suburban Cleveland. Bruh.
I wish I could say I was mad, but I'm not.
They have been caught. They will be fine. You're not gonna catch them off. You know how this goes, man. They might catch a case. They'll pay back some of the money, but not all of the money. You got government. You roll too big sometimes. The motherfucker can be like, I'm looking at the house that they say was a farm. It is clearly in a suburban, you know what I'm saying, just in a neighborhood. I'm like, y'all gotta double check that. You gotta have somebody on that shit, man. Hire somebody to double check your work. Like, word? Hey, bro, I'm looking at this address and it don't look right. Just say that. Just do that. So they got over on these fools, and you're right. I can't be mad about it. Just
the whole thing was when they did like the initial stimulus package and they did all that PPP funding and everything. They said that like they weren't really gonna audit anybody. They weren't gonna check. It was like honor system. Well, apparently that was a lie because how else did you catch these people? I doubt they told on themselves.
It just like I said, who knows? Maybe a little bit of just paperwork on the back end, you know what I'm saying? It was
maybe someone Control F'd on the Excel sheet and tried to type in the address, and it was like 7 different entries pop up. You're like,
72.
So well, you said it was split through 3 different addresses, so
yeah. So it's like, well, there you go. You're saying divide them over that. So
maybe it was like a multifamily, so they had an A, B, and C.
The triplex.
Yeah.
I felt like that family covered our standard Corona news, our Ohio news, and some wild ass shit all in one. So that's why I pulled that particular story. This one right here, again, it's a long one and it has 2 writers and stuff on it, but I want to delve into just a little bit of it. I know this will touch Gabriel's soul. This is by Blake Ellis and Melanie Hicken over at CNN Investigates. The title of this article is, "They Stormed the Capitol to Overturn the Results of an Election they didn't vote in. They were there to stop the steal and keep the president they revered in office. Yet records show that some of the rioters who stormed the Capitol did not vote in the very election they were protesting. One was Donovan Crowell, an ex-Marine who charged toward the Capitol in paramilitary garb on January 6th as the pro-Trump crowd shouted, "Who's our president?" Federal authorities later identified Crowell 50 as a member of a self-styled militia organization in his home state of Ohio, and affiliated with the extremist group the Oath Keepers. His mother told CNN that he previously told her they were going to overtake the government if they tried to take Trump's presidency from him.
Before you get any further, the name of this group sounds like a party playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm just going to say that.
Oath Keepers.
Yeah, the Oath Keepers.
She said he had become increasingly angry during the Obama administration.
Wonder why.
And that she was aware of his support of former President Donald Trump. Despite these apparent pro-Trump views, a county election official in Ohio told CNN that he registered in 2013, but never voted nor responded to any of our confirmation notices to keep him registered. So he was removed from the voter rolls at the end of 2020. And the state said he was not registered in Ohio. A county clerk in Illinois, where Cowell was once registered, also confirmed he was not an active voter anywhere in the state. Crowell was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of destruction of government property and conspiracy for allegedly coordinating with others to plan their attack. He remains in custody, after a judge said the suggestion to release him to a residence with 9 firearms is a non-starter. In an interview cited by the government, Crowell told the New Yorker that he had peaceful intentions and claimed he had protected the police. Crowell's attorney did not provide a comment about his client's voting record. Many involved in the insurrection professed to be motivated by patriotism, falsely declaring that Trump was the rightful winner of the election. Yet at least 8 of the people who are now facing criminal charges for the involvement in the events at the Capitol did not vote in the November 2020 presidential election. According to an analysis of voting records from states where protesters were arrested and those states where public records show they have lived, they came from states around the country and ranged in age from 21 to 65. To determine who voted in November, CNN obtained voting records from more than 80 of the initial arrestees. Most voted in the presidential election, while many were registered Republicans. A handful were registered as Democrats in those jurisdictions that provided party information. Though who someone votes for is not publicly disclosed, public access to voter history records varies by state, and CNN was unable to view the records of some of those charged. Among those who didn't vote were 65-year-old Georgia man who, according to government documents, was found in his van with a fully loaded pistol and ammunition, and a Louisiana man who publicly bragged about spending nearly 2 hours inside the Capitol after attending Trump's Stop the Steal rally. Another was a 21-year-old woman from Missouri who prosecutors say shared a video on Snapchat that showed her parading around with a piece of a wooden sign from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office.
What?
And a Florida man...
Wasn't that, what's her name's niece? The
man show.
Yeah,
dude.
the Juggies.
Adam Carolla.
Adam
Carolla's niece. Yeah.
Fuck him, by the way.
Yeah, anyway. And a Florida man previously convicted of attempted murder who was accused by the government of refusing to leave the Capitol likely did not have the option to cast a ballot because of his unpaid court fines. Again, this goes on, and I can tell you more. It just made me chuckle at these fools.
I just wonder who got that idea. Is like, I got a story for everybody. Let's find out which one of them didn't vote.
That was brilliant.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good journalism. It's people who are like, well, let's take a look at these motherfuckers who claiming, saying they so down, and it turns out, oh yeah, you didn't even vote.
But you know what? That's a narrative that continues too, or that's been ongoing. As I mentioned earlier, friends that I had in real life are no longer my friends in real life, because people that I knew that were just like on some anti-Obama shit, and the Republican or whatever, and I was like, so what did you do to did you vote? No. Okay. And then when he came up again, fucking Obama, and I was like, did you vote? No. I was like, okay, so you didn't vote the first time. And then when he came up again, you didn't vote again. What the fuck you're crying about? Like, and I would literally use that statement from back in the day. Your vote is your voice. You chose not to have a voice. So you need to silence your shit right now because you didn't speak when you should have. So that's on you.
It's both wild and of course perfectly to be expected. One of my friend's sisters was out here claiming how much she loved Trump and blah blah blah. She was wild mad about it, but then I was like, well, why are you mad about it? She don't vote.
Yeah.
Because she don't vote. All she did was claim that motherfucking set, but didn't even get jumped in. So it's just like, come on, bro, you wilding at that point.
Because I'm like, be down if you're gonna be down, like, you know.
Because I don't know, people are fucking lazy.
Yeah. Well, but
it's like
there's two things I say. One, sports or modern politics is just sports. You're just picking your team.
Correct.
And the other one, number two, is just America is just gang culture. Like no matter which way you slice it, be it like poor versus rich, be it Republican versus Democrat, it's about writing for your set like nonstop. Get off my block. Mm-hmm. And so it's like how you're saying, people just like false flagging when they didn't get jumped in. You know, that's just because they're adjacent. You know,
good adjacent,
right? You know, I knew some Crips. I wasn't one, but you know, it's like, so I think that's what we end up experiencing a lot too. It's like through association, but I don't know. People always on some dumb shit.
The fact these people are now apparently about to, if things go like they think they are, these people are going to catch some RICO charges because the government is still, so like people was so angry because they were only getting them with basically trespassing. I'm like, that's how you get them, and then you get
shit them. I got a story that goes with this. So
please do.
My curriculum coach, and when I say this is a person who works with the teachers, really supports them on understanding the curriculum a little bit better. I think it was last Thursday. She's like, oh shit. She's like, my husband just called me. Her husband works from home. And she's like, FBI are stationed in our neighborhood. She's like, they're already calling out that they're good. You know, they stationed in one neighborhood because they're about to go fucking like raid a house in another neighborhood. And she said they went over all of a sudden at once, boom, they roll the other neighborhood and it's big fucking horns. And they're like, get out of your house now. And they were fucking clear. You're a suspected insurrectionist. Boom, up homeboy right out the spot. And this is like it's like the Irvine area, which Southern California, which is like Orange County is very conservative, like super conservative. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like, man, they're rolling up those fuckers. They are not, FBI is not playing, which is really surprised. But they were just like, we have evidence. You need to come out. You've been turned in. Boom, boom, boom. And so she said, from one neighborhood to the other, her husband can hear it and had his phone and was like, listen, man, homeboy got arrested. And so she found out later, like, listen, we all know this, right? You're going to do crimes, cover your face, which just in general, wear a mask, like homeboy who robbed Roscoe's, like, put the fucking mask on your face. And then, and like, don't film yourself doing it. But this fool, she found out later, he was one of those that was like, look at me, I'm in the Capitol. Yay, fucking frat party.
And you made it all the way back home.
Made it back home. Got arrested.
I am still mad that these fools got to just leave. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
They had their party in the lobbies and shit.
Yeah. Sitting there just, drinking at bars and shit, maskless and shit. But I am also quite happy that motherfuckers getting doors knocked, you know what I'm saying? I can't even imagine what it'd be like to have a Fed show up at the front door tapping. Like,
everything that's happened is way more than I would have thought happened. I mean, I even said it on this show a couple weeks back that I didn't think anything would ever happen. And like 2 weeks later, here we are. And it's like, wow, boy, was I wrong.
No, I was in the same place because I always apply that logic from the Dave Chappelle skit when his friend was like, I think drunk driving or like running red lights. And then and he was sweating. Yeah, he was like sweating. He's like, oh man. And his friend was like, watch this. I didn't know I couldn't do that, officer. And he was like, you can't. That just. Some people could say I didn't know I couldn't do that, and then they're just like, "It's cool, buddy. Just get home safe." I say,
I watched a YouTube video today. It was a dude who was filming like DoorDash deliveries for a week. Like he was trying to work from like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day, like Monday through Sunday is like a challenge. And then on like the Friday portion of the video, he like cuts in and he goes, "Oh, I wasn't filming just now, but I just rolled a stop sign took my seatbelt off before the cop got to the car. My license plate isn't on the car. It's written in Sharpie because the temp tag fell off. I was going 7 over the speed limit, and the cop just let me go."
he didn't know he couldn't do that.
Yeah, didn't know that he needed to have the seatbelt on to make a complete stop, not speed, and wear the seatbelt. Oh, and have an actual license plate.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Dan. Like I really thought like these guys are gonna go home and gonna be a thing. Fuck it, whatever, you know. So to actually see things happen, that shit's amazing.
Yeah, I thought maybe like they'd get the podium guy and like the headdress guy, but I thought like it would stop there because those were like the poster children for the whole thing. But to see like all these like people I didn't even know existed getting pulled up, like it gives me hope.
Yeah.
How's that? Well, maybe justice will be held. But then we got the woman in Texas who was basically like, "Your Honor, I got a Mexican vacation plan, bro. Can I not dip out to Mexico?"
Yeah.
And that Texas judge said, "Yeah, you're good. We'll see you back in a little bit." So the bitch get to go to Mexico. Get to go on a little vacation.
No.
Not remanded at all. It's so it's like it's wild what some but it has been pointed out that that's a particular type of judge in Texas who is just like who probably, if possible, probably would have been his ass at the Capitol too. So it's like, okay, well, you get this for right now.
Is that going to be her judge in the case though?
No, all these people. So basically, like the dude Chop talking about, he got that person got arrested in Cali. He'll go before a Cali district judge to eventually be, they'll decide how if they're gonna let him out on bail or whatever and so forth and so on. And if not, they'll keep him locked down until it's time to get some trial shit popping, and then they'll get moved across the country, and all these people will be in DC district court. And at last count, they're up to 180 indictments.
Damn, really?
And
yeah, I really thought it'd be like 5 max.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it could have been, but it's like they were, as it turns out, so close to harming the then sitting vice president, the next in line in the Speaker of the House, and so forth, that it's just like, y'all motherfuckers was on the verge of really killing people. Can't let this one walk.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to get AOC if everything I've heard for the last 48 hours is to be believed.
Literally, there you go. In that is literal fake news.
Yeah.
Only reason they weren't going to get AOC is because they had her move to another part of the Capitol structure.
But she's out, man. She is masterful at Twitter. She coming back with all the clips and receipts. Like, but this you too?
My issue with it is that like I have a buddy who is just like eating this shit up, and I can't take it anymore. Like, he was in my basement Sunday night watching the Royal Rumble, and my buddy who lives here with me got up to like come upstairs because the pay-per-view was over, and he was going to go up to his room and go to bed, and like my buddy had gotten drunk, and he just started rambling about fucking affidavits and yada yada yada, thing after the next thing, and it got to the point where I just finally told him to shut the fuck up. Nobody in the room gave a shit about anything he was talking about. No one wanted to hear it. And if he wanted to continue, he would fucking leave.
You're like, listen, I'm trying to watch some wrestling, eat some chips, have some drinks. Like, that's it.
Also, that's like, I get it. He really wants to believe an affidavit means more than it does, but it don't. Affidavits is just you saying, I swear by what I'm saying to you right now. And
my thing is like, in this whole situation, all right? If these people have these things, and supposedly, like, we're like with the voter fraud,
Yeah.
Oh, you have evidence of voter fraud. Well, what is it? Like, you want a fair trial or whatever, like, but like you're losing. Obviously at this point they've lost, but at the time, like, you're losing. They're about to put Biden in. They're not going to look at your evidence that you say you have. Why not leak it to the press so that they'll put it out and then the American people can look at it? But you didn't do that. Mm-hmm. Just like now, you have 120,000 affidavits. Where are they? Are they on change.com? Like, where am I looking at these affidavits? Like, it's like, I can't believe, like, that people can just say whatever, not back it up, and then, like, hundreds of thousands, millions of people just take it as gospel. Like, my buddy was sharing all these fucking things that this Candace Owen lady was tweeting out about AOC not being there. And then I go on YouTube earlier, and I don't even know how this showed up, because, like, I haven't watched this dude in, like, 2 years. But that, like, Louder with Crowder dude, like, it's in my recommended, and it's, like, an hour-long stream he did of, like, I can prove AOC wasn't there. And I'm just like, what the fuck is with all you people?
I think it's just to be so desperate for a win and for validation that it's skewing the facts. You know, like, there's enough evidence to be like I was thinking, it's the sort of Trump gaslighting. You know what I mean? It's like, I can say right now, there are 5 of us in this Zoom. But are there really 5 of us? Because we're not really in a place, you know? You're skewing the dialogue so that it makes sense to you, when it's the reality is there's fucking 5 of us here. That's what it is. Yeah. And that's what they just keep doing. It's keep shifting the line. You weren't really in the Capitol building. And she's like, yeah, I was in the complex. Yeah, but that's not the building. So you see, you're a liar. The whole thing is fake. And it's like, no, that you're just changing location. That's minutia that you're hanging on to make this story valid, when the reality is you got one little kernel when the rest of it shows the evidence is strong, you know? So it's desperation for a win. But, you know, you got to accept the L's when you get them.
Maybe I was just working too hard on this bullshit, and I can't fucking call it, man. So it's like, I feel bad because every time it kind of is this way. Every week you got another story about bruh, and I'm like, oh man, come on, man. You got to break free.
The thing about it is, like, the dude's one of my best friends
for sure.
But in this instance, with this particular topic, he's fucking insane, and it's driving me nuts. Like, and it's like, and none of this was here before Trump. Like, he voted for Obama both terms, but then he turns around and voted for Trump the last 2 terms. And I don't care who anybody votes for. I'm not gonna stop talking to someone I know my whole life because of who they voted for in a particular election. Like, I don't live by the thought of, like, because someone voted for something that automatically means they're, like, a grocery list of certain things. People have different things they believe in. It is what it is. Like, my grandmother voted for Trump because he was against abortion, and that's the only thing she cared about. That she doesn't hate black people, like, anything else. Like, I'm not going to paint with a broad brush. But, like, I just don't understand how, he was completely sane up until, like, these last 4 years. And it's like these last couple years, it's like he's gone off the fucking deep end. And, like, I don't understand what happened. Yeah. No, he never talked about any of this. Like, he's always been, like, a conspiracy theorist, but it was, like, aliens and Bigfoot and shit. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, oh, you know, black people aren't oppressed. And I'm just like, where the fuck did this sudden passion for, like, our government come from? And, like, why are you all of a sudden, like, such a crazy, like, government conspiracy theorist? Like, what the fuck happened in the last 4 years?
Well, and I think that
drugs.
Like, I brought this up on my last episode, where we talked about how we have to acknowledge that Trump's campaign was a grassroots campaign to a group of people who have been overlooked for a long time. Like, man, in my mind, like, I'm a coastal elite. Yeah, I see things completely different, you know? And it's the people who are the flyovers, and we have to, like, my partner was talking to me, he's like, things are going to get better, things are going to improve, and I'm like, no, not until we stop looking at the coasts and start looking at everything in the middle as well, and folding everyone in. But when I ignore you in Ohio, when I ignore you in Nebraska, and I just say, yeah, well, you're fucking flyover states, that's a lot of fucking states. You know what I mean? And so when you don't validate the existence of somebody, then it's like the government don't work for me, Hollywood don't work for me. Like all these things don't work for me because they don't recognize me. And what did Trump do? He saw them. And so now that they feel seen, then it's like, oh shit, okay, let's fucking rock with this, you know? And so
They rock with hard though. Hard.
Right, but it was because they were acknowledged. I mean, to our core as people, we really just wanted to be seen. We really just want to be acknowledged, you know? That's why we associate with people who treat us right. Not everyone does, but you know what I mean? Like people who you have a like interest, a like mindset. And so he came through and was just like, hey, everybody who's pissed at everything, check this out. And what was his thing? He's going to drain the swamp because politics are fucked. And so he was like, and so people were like, yeah, fucking drain that shit. Make it better for me. So I think it's just that, like, and if you were already on that train for conspiracy theory, oh, it just makes sense. You know, they're like, yeah, fucking Pizzagate. Totally. That's a real thing, you know? Like, as wild as it is, people buy into this. But, I mean, people also buy into TMZ and National Enquirer. Like, these things exist. It's adventure, you know?
Part of what you said about the flyover state thing, like remembering to like look at everything, it's part of what like really pisses me off about politics and like specifically the party lines in general. Like Republican, like I vote primarily Democratic, but they piss me off just as much as Republicans do, and I'm not necessarily happy that Biden won, but I'm glad Trump didn't win is where I'm kind of at, and I feel like nothing's ever going to get anywhere unless people are willing to actually like sit down and have a real fucking conversation. But it just feels like no matter what, everyone's just yelling at each other and no one wants to have an actual conversation and try to see the other side. We just all feel how we feel, and like we all feel like we're right and the other person's wrong, and that makes them bad and makes us good. And I feel like nothing will ever change until like kind of like what you said, like we look like at everything and can try and like listen. Now I get some shit's fucked, like racism and all that. Like there's like no, talking that out, like as far as like trying to make racism good, but like I just feel like some of the shit that we just kind of like argue over, like taxes and like the stimulus package shit shouldn't be that fucking hard. Like I'm reading today about how they're trying to figure out where to draw the fucking line, like 50K, 75K, like we're all fucking poor. Yeah. Come on now.
But I do think that there are like stuff that's like, I'm okay with it, with like even drawing those lines too. Like my wife and I talk about it. Like I'm not balling. I'm not like insanely rich or anything like that, by no means. And especially by California standards, no. But I don't need the stimulus because I'm fine. And so I'd rather have my portion go to support somebody else, So it's like, I think that we should have some guidelines along the way, but I think it should just still be that level of like fair and equitability. Like going back to, you got to bring everyone together, but it's this like faux unification. We're bringing everybody together, but, and then that's where it kind of falls apart. So that's my political rant for the day. Let's talk some nonsense. Let's get into some bullshit.
Well, I was literally about to say it's time to slide into it and be like, okay, gentlemen, and as always be right over to Anthony, man. What you got this week, if anything, and if not,
no,
we keep the
we can slide to him about an asshole.
No, it's way too early for that.
It is.
No, it's 11 o'clock. It's almost that time.
I was telling Gabe earlier that like I like you could tell his gauge as a listener, and now I'm seeing it on video. Like the first third of the show, with it popping with the dialogue, and now I see the eyes get low.
It's like
I just had my third beer.
and it was funny when you were saying like there's 5 people on this podcast. I was thinking like, nah, it's only 4 right now. Gabe sleep.
Right. See,
Hey, my eyes got heavy, but I did not fall asleep. I was awake. Well, now I feel like I do actually have something.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, there you go, sir. There we go. Okay, if you got something, spit it.
All right. So me and my wife, we had an interesting conversation about gender and sexual fluidity the other day.
Okay.
And she thinks I'm
like go back and forth.
No, she thinks I'm being like super prude or like I'm being conformant to what society tells me to be.
Is this like the your guy's gay tweets if he does certain things? Like, are you over there drinking black tea?
No, I'm being.
You have a hot beverage?
Apparently, I'm being like too close-minded in her mind. She's
All right,
like,
give me an example.
Well, she's saying like this example. She's like, I just don't find men attractive. I don't find men attractive at all. She's like, you're telling me from just from a sensation standpoint, you wouldn't be. Say you had like, you had your eyes closed and you couldn't see anything, and you had like, what's her? Oh, Amber Rose down there, sucking on your penis, or if you had like, versus like you had
wait,
Rock,
hold on.
and I'm like,
so we're saying The Rock or Amber Rose is sucking on your peen?
yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to, because like the way it started, I was confused of who was what.
Is she
gender.
saying a mouth is a mouth?
She's saying a mouth is a mouth, and I'm saying like I don't. It's like, look, I'm sorry. I first of all, I cringed at the example because The Rock is a real manly man, and I'm not being like, look at me, I'm so straight. I'm the straightest man there ever was. I don't find men attractive. I straight up don't.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
Go ahead.
So on one flip is this: you can recognize the Rock as a handsome man.
Yes.
Breezy. You don't want to put your dick in the Rock's mouth.
No, I don't want to get the most electrifying blowjob in sports and entertainment.
Okay.
But what if your eyes were closed and you never saw him doing it?
I would feel him going, if you smell my balls, and I don't want that.
What if you're in a glory hole and The Rock is on the other side of the wall?
Okay, I got your back here, Gabe, because I'm not interested in glory holes. 1, 2.
They make me nervous.
But there's an app, right?
Yes, we are aware of the app. But like, I like to touch hair, squeeze a boob, I like to stay involved during that. So
Right, exactly.
It would. I mean, I'm sure The Rock has great pecs, but it's still not the same thing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I think it's a matter of like, I don't think it's about fluidity or anything like that. It is about like, because the negative end of it would be if you were like, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve type of shit. And if you had that stance, and because it's like this, I'm gonna whip around the room real quick. Okay, Anthony, what type of titties do you like?
Actually, I'm a small to medium type guy.
Okay, thank you.
I'm an areola man.
Dan, what type of titties do you like?
Depends on the size of the butt that is attached.
Okay. T?
Giant
titties?
Big titty man always have
Okay. And how about you, Gabe?
It's call me weird, but I like the natural floppy titties.
Okay.
Exactly.
You see, so we just had a variety here, and then my spectrum is this: I like them really tiny, or I like the stretch mark. You know what I mean? Like that's my shit right there. Mm-hmm. Also, nice big areola. Ooh, dear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I don't like women and breasts? No. It just means like that's the shit that's like, oh man, you want to get me going? That's what's up. Other than that, I'm like, I don't know.
I like feminine and womanly features, but I don't think that's because society told me to. I'd like to say it came naturally.
Right.
So the whole caveat to this though is like you have to be like into it, right? Because I'm just saying like what he was saying, what Chaufie was saying was like the Chappelle Show skit where it was dude's night out and they ended up with a mouth is a mouth. Like if you're just trying to get a blowjob, that's why I said if you close your eyes, a mouth is a mouth. You don't know if it's a man or a woman down there. But if you actually want to get hard to the Rock, sucking on your rock, then like I understand that like you're maybe not attracted to men or the Rock. If you are into men, maybe the Rock's not your jam, and how it would be difficult to be in that situation. I guess it depends on what your end game is.
Yeah. Well, because I was gonna say too, like we give the Rock as an example, but that's just like. I kind of applied it, like as you were going through this, it made me think of like the opposite, where people get weird when they find out someone is gay. And it's like, they have a preference. Like, and not every gay guy, like you've heard, like not every gay guy wants to fuck every straight guy. Like, that's not the like. We all have a preference. We all have a style, and so it's just like rock might not be your vibe. Maybe you're really into, I don't know, like Channing Tatum. Maybe you're really into, like, I don't know, someone who's just really thin and raily that I can't think of right now. Fucking Pee Wee Herman. You know what?
I don't know. Okay.
Like, I know dudes who have slept with women that they weren't into or attracted to at all, but they got the fuck. You know, like that. The fucking was the end game, not that person.
That's a good point.
Okay, so I guess we kind of dove into this to protect you quicker than we probably should have. What is her thinking on this matter? What was she trying to bring to the table? That you are somehow closed-minded because you don't want to
Wait, hold up.
get with a guy? What is she?
Like,
What is her point?
I
guess?
can't explore the possibility that.
Is she trying to get you into a threesome?
No.
I think that's what this is.
No. She just.
Ass to ass.
Right? Hey, how would you feel if like another guy was around? You should be like, how would you feel if another girl was around? What's up? Let's do this.
Say you would do it if it was a robot.
Well, that's. It's like the guys, all right, has everyone seen the first season of The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
No,
I want to see how the Mandalorian connects to this topic.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Like The Mandalorian.
It's like
all right, no one's not ever seen the first episode. It's the first season, though.
I don't care, Gabe. Go ahead, please.
Okay, like, you know, the Mandalorian law, he can't take his helmet off in front of people, but he's able to take it in front of that robot.
Yeah, true indeed.
So, it's
that
really a
robot
threesome
wasn't a
if we have a robot involved?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like, so you bring sex toys into the room. That's not like a threesome,
literally
right?
a sex
Yeah,
toy.
right? It's a sex toy.
It's a sex toy. Until we have sentient robots, it's a non-issue.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I'm closed-minded just because I don't want the people's blowjob. And
I don't think so either. I think you're all right.
Whew. May not be able to make it your actual show title, but sir, that is a fine alternate title.
You can't put the people's BJ?
I could probably put the People's BJ. That is a solid. Actually, blowjob. I mean,
what about the people's fellatio?
Can you smell what the cock is cooking? Is that
yeah.
Should we plug the Rock's tequila so we couldn't call it even?
he has tequila?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Why tequila? He's Samoan and black. Don't they have a Samoan alcohol?
He fits a lot on the color
should
palette.
be the name of the show. Samoan.
What if that's how he extracts it so that he can use that to make the
It
alcohol?
does sound like it because it's called Terramana. So he's like, yeah, I got that Terramana out of Gabe. Extracted it. What did you say was the beaver nut? It was like all natural.
Castoreum. All right. So get me here, Gabriel. How did this come about, and where did she think that you had, I don't know, somehow not been?
I guess we just talked about gender fluid and now that more people are being open-minded and everything, you know, that people are being more open-minded, and I'm like, and it's like I consider myself pretty open-minded, but like I don't find men attractive, and she's like, you telling me like, I don't know why she thought The Rock was a great example. That is a terrible example.
Because that's who she want to fuck.
She's in the.
I mean,
she's
like,
in the Thor. She's in the Chris Hemsworth.
At this point in time, I think The Rock is considered like the peak of masculinity at this point in history.
He's our reference point.
But he's had a boob job before.
Yeah, he did. That's why he was wearing. I remember that period of time where he was wearing a t-shirt and wrestling in a t-shirt and pants before WrestleMania 15.
Is that when you lost your desire for him?
No, I consider myself a pretty open-minded guy, and I understand like gender fluidity and not being like pigeonholed to one like certain attractiveness, but like that's not for me personally. And she says, well, that's because you've been conditioned by society. I'm like, I don't think it's conditioning. I think it's just I know what I like, and I don't, and I like I like femininity. I butchered that word, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I think being conditioned.
a few beers
I mean,
in.
because if we want to have the conditioned by society conversation, then why get married? Why have kids? Like, why do anything? You know, if society's dictated everything for us, I think that the safe place to be is, like I was saying earlier, if you have a preference, you have your preference. It becomes damaging when you place your preference
Yes.
and limit others and say, because I like X, you must like X. And if you like Y, then you are wrong. And it's like, that's not what it's all about, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah, you're
Right, it's the exact same thing we were saying during the politics.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, if I was, I could see her call me closed-minded if I was like, that can't exist because I don't feel that way.
Right.
That'd be one thing.
I mean, sit her down and play to her the section from last week's episode where we all sat here as a group and we rated the attractiveness of the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
We ranked them.
Yes. I could see when a man is attractive or not. I mean, I know Steve. I'm not looking at men and going like, oh, I can't tell if a man's a good looker or not. I think Steve Buscemi and let me think of an example.
The Rock.
And The Rock look the same to me.
Yeah, like I said, you like I said, you can recognize, oh, that's a handsome bloke, fine. But you can also be like, but I don't like men sexually, and so that's fine too.
Right.
No, and no gay person would hold it against you and be mad at you like, well, how dare you not like what I get down with? That's just your. I'm going to let that's your wife just chatting. Right. I don't know. Y'all are just having a conversation.
I wanted to add to this too. Does your wife like busting your balls?
She does.
Yes.
A little bit.
Okay. Because it sounds like one of those wife conversations too, where they're they're just asking you because they're just going to keep cornering you, and there's zero right answers. Because if you were like, yeah, I guess fucking The Rock, like Amber Rose, whoever's like doing their thing. Okay, so you want like The Rock to suck your dick now? What do you say? There's no win. There's no win in this conversation.
I find it funny how the women in Gabe's life seem to exist to make him uncomfortable.
Bruh.
I'm fully expecting another voicemail from his sister in like a week or two.
Oh, that voicemail was wild. Holy shit, dude. Whoa, hey.
You guys, you didn't see my face during that.
No.
That was an episode I wish I was nodding off.
I saw it in my head. I was like, because as a listener, I think I was cooking dinner when I was listening. And so I missed that it was your wife, and I was like, your sister? And I was like, who's sending this fucking wild-ass voicemail? And then someone said, damn, your sister. And I was like, back. And I was like, oh, yeah, no. Like, there's some things I don't want to know. You know? Do I assume that my sister's had sex? Sure. She has a baby? But I'm sure. You know, I'm sure she's done things. I've done things. Like, I don't really care to know. Like, that's your life. You live your things. I'm not over here like, hey, T, so tell me what the booty smell like. I don't need to know. I don't need to know.
She's just getting me back from that driving back from South Carolina story.
Oh.
Smell like graham crackers.
Sounds a little racist, man. Oh, fuck.
I'm surprised you didn't add like mayo in there.
It's never. God.
Tastes like
I would appreciate mayo, all I'm saying. But no.
I mean, like, if I believe Twitter, if Twitter's to be believed, I smell like mayo. You know?
T's out here. He's like, I've been making s'mores all the time.
I mean, if Twitter's to be believed, I wear glasses. I enjoy a hot beverage. I speak to my partner with rationalness. I'm gay for all those reasons. Right. So Twitter is
Twitter has a lot of a long list. Umbrellas, cleaning your bathroom.
Yeah, that umbrella shit fucked me
Wait,
all
I don't
up.
know this. What?
I can't-
Well, you don't know the list of things
so-
that Twitter considers you gay for? Well, considers
No.
men gay. They never talk about
Well,
what
I'm
makes
saying
women
this
gay.
umbrella one. I've never heard the umbrella one.
We keep coming across these as of late because somebody always put it up there and we just like, oh, really? Well, add that to the list. And so one was recently shared with us, again by Nick Jew, who we spoke of earlier. It was like apparently carrying an umbrella is gay or makes you suspect.
So,
And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
even if
but
it's a
I
rainy
heard that.
day?
I heard that many years ago. Like, I'm a man who likes an umbrella.
right.
And
Anthony's the only person to ever try and push an umbrella on me. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true. Also, I'm always uncomfortable when you guys say Nick Jew because it just sounds like it should be an offensive name. Like it's like some Italian comic, like Dice Clay shit, where I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. But shout out to West Coast too. She's up in the Yay area, so you know what?
yeah,
I'll love. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from words that begin with N-I because I don't want to get too close.
And then ending Jew, like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Making me uncomfortable.
Hey. It's the homegirl, and we always put some respect on it. You as always. But again, like I said, I can never really be trusting these situations because I'm always pretty much going to bat Team Gabe because you're my homeboy. But in this case, you are again fully right. But I think you know that already, and we chuckle.
What? I could kind of see where she's coming from. We're all a product of society's conditioning.
Even our conditions being conditioned, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is what it is sometimes.
It's all
right?
simulation.
But also, I don't. How am I conditioned for my dick to move how my dick moves? What does society do to me to make you say that's what you think is attractive?
when I move, you move.
What goes in your? What's the first thing you put in your X Hamster search bar? It's not the
It depends on the day.
Trust your boy. At this point, X-Hamster's AI knows what I like.
It's just like, it like undoes the velvet rope. It's like, come on in.
It's amazing how like you just go to the homepage and like the what's new is literally just like an algorithm based on your previous search history. So it's like, here's what's new in the categories you previously looked
It's like a nice charcuterie board. Here you go.
You know,
What's that?
Is X Hamster like Cheers and he's like Norm?
It's like what was it, like the Holiday Inn or whatever? It's like, come on in, we'll leave the light on for you.
Yep.
Like we know what you like.
Am I the only guy who don't use X Hamster?
I haven't gone to X Hamster since like I still lived in my mom's house. But I've got so many fucking avenues for jerking off these days. Like sometimes Instagram's good enough.
Also great.
Only
for jerking off.
OnlyFans is like really coming into its own. Reddit is a great
Yeah, but the last time I was on here, you guys showed me some disappointing titties. Because like the areola and the titty were the same color, and that let me down. Like I still think about that to this day. I was like, "There's no differentiation." So, just put that out there.
I mean, hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Which one are you talking about?
We ain't talking about it. Gabe did what he had to do, cross us over. And, it is time for us to head for these Reddit mean streets. And,
Thank you for waking
I
up,
present to
Gabe.
you.
Right, I know.
I present to
wide-eyed
you
now.
I present to you as I do each and every week. Am I the asshole? I come through with a selection of various things, and y'all, my men's here will vote and say, I want to hear that one, I want to hear that one, and we do it every week, and it always leads to some fun conversation. I feel like this first one is definitely a banger. I will go down the line as always. So, am I the asshole for sending carnations to my work wife?
Whoa.
Yes, you're the asshole.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my friend for her work? Am I the asshole for being weirded out by my wife's special ice cream nights? That one has gotten deleted since I started this, so that's interesting. But you know, it's always there to be.
That sounds like a euphemism for cheating.
So that one is easy enough to dig up. So worry not about that if you want to hear that one. And am I the asshole for not allowing my sister to use my laundry machine when she washes her undergarments in it? I thought that was real fucked up. So
I got to hear the carnation one because I already got an opinion off the get go.
You were going to hear the carnation one. We were going to get involved in that one.
I guess I vote carnation and ice cream.
Yeah.
We all have best friends at works, and mine happens to be a woman. No big deal, right? Well, to my girlfriend, it is. The woman in question and I are pretty close, as the result of working next to each other for the past year. We joke that we're work spouses, but nothing goes beyond that except for the occasional good morning text. Long story short, she and I were talking about Valentine's Day, and she mentioned how in high school she never got sent a carnation. This surprised me because she's dead ass a 10.
Oh.
I told her how I only ever got white ones sent, symbolizing friendship, which was fucking embarrassing, and we both bonded over the disappointments and joked that being work spouses, maybe we could get each other flowers this year. I decided to take her up on this in an appropriate manner by sending her a bouquet of white carnations in the mail to express my appreciation of her and her friendship. Nothing more. But the thing is, I forgot to change the delivery date to a week later on a day my girlfriend wasn't home, and they got delivered today. Picking a day my girlfriend wasn't home is not an admission of guilt. I just knew she would overreact because she's emotional and almost unbearably insecure at times. So yeah, they came to my house and my girlfriend answered the door and was so happy until she read the tag and saw that it wasn't her name.
Oh, shit.
I told her why I'd gotten them for my work friend and she started crying. I explained the story behind it and how white was platonic. I also told my girlfriend that I had super romantic plans for Valentine's Day for her and red ones. But I can't get through to her. She said it's emotional cheating, which I disagree with, and all the other buzzwords chicks throw out on Twitter, and I can't help but think she's blowing it way out of proportion. Me and my work friend have never done anything, and I'm a dedicated boyfriend, but apparently one kind and thoughtful gesture to another woman makes me a monster. I'm pretty sure my relationship is over unless I apologize and admit I was wrong, but I also feel like this is a matter of principle, and that I'm the victim here. Is she being irrational, or am I being short-sighted? Edit. They were white flowers. Calm the fuck down. I regret posting it. So before we delve into the comments on this particular one, what are our feelings about this person? And
let the heavy hitter down.
I think it's safe to say that we know people that have current spouses that started off as work wives / husbands that were previously husband to people who don't work here or certain locations. So, all right. I am very not for the whole work husband, work wife thing. I feel like it crosses a line in the workplace that shouldn't be crossed. And I feel like it opens up wounds like this unnecessarily. Like, you can trust someone, but like, people naturally are worrisome. And if you know that like, your person is spending more time with this person than you because we all work more. We see people at work, well, not anymore for us, but people who work in offices still see people they work with more than they see their own family. So if you know that this person is developing this like personal connection with this person that sits right by them every fucking day, 5 days a week, and they're doing shit like this, like I know it's easy to say like don't be jealous and you got to be secure in yourself and all that. Like all that it does start within, but like I feel like this shit's just unnecessary.
Agree. What you got for me?
With that being said, though, if Anthony wants to send me something in the mail, like I'll blush my my cheeks and pat my eyes his way.
Yeah, but you have said more than once on Facebook, which I'm not on, that you would steal me away. So I don't think I would try to test the waters.
Exactly, I should be trusted.
Regardless of our platonic relationship, doing something like that is kind of stepping over the line.
To be fair, I'm only talking to you still so that I can get to your son because I've been trying to reach him about his car's extended warranty.
Yeah.
Gabe,
Gabe, is that his?
Sorry, I was looking at something.
Pictures of the Rock, we know.
let's call back, people. What you seemed very opinionated on this. So what's going on?
I really felt for her in that when she got excited for those flowers. That was
I'm
like
looking at this.
if it was he knew. All right, he knew. He's trying to say, it's not an admission of guilt, just trying to get the flowers delivered when she's not there. Like, that's a bit of an admission of guilt. If you couldn't do it, if you couldn't be upfront about it and do it, like, then there's something wrong. I mean, I have female friends at work, and I would like, go get them a coffee and everything. And sometimes it was my wife's idea. Like, yeah, go grab her a coffee. She's having a hard day, or that'd be really nice of her. I wouldn't do that stuff sneakily,
I would like to add that I don't think the relationship is going to make it the distance.
Shortly.
Not Gabe. I'm talking about the people in the story.
No, I'm saying, shortly.
Yeah, because the whole thing starts from their own, self-confidence. And so if they if he knows that this person gets like this about everything, she needs to work on herself because the relationship's never going to last if she can't, handle.
Sure thing.
Thing.
She truly might need to work on herself, but this motherfucker did her dirty.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so
like, especially like Gabe said, that him knowing that this is what would happen.
Yeah. So let's delve into the comments
and
here.
I'm not going to apologize. It's the principle of the thing. Like, man, have you never been in a relationship with a woman before? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Hit me up, Ant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Chaufie didn't get to say nothing either.
Yeah, I know, man. She just skip across the gap. Wow.
Okay.
I know, this is like when Anthony tried to skip everyone's segment to go right to Am I the Asshole?
You know what it is? Because T was already like, you know what? You already talked politics. You already talked a bunch. You talked too much on this goddamn show. Took over. All right, I feel you. I got you.
It's all good. Please, gentlemen, share your opinions on this matter.
No,
After you, Chaufie.
Like I've kind of been in this situation, but not really. In that, like, I used to have like a partner with me all the time, and so we were coaches together. We shared the same classroom and stuff like that. And my wife used to always be like, "Oh, your work wife, your work wife, your work wife," and then it turned into this like fictitious relationship that wasn't there, where I was like, no, she's the person I work with. Like, I wasn't out buying her gifts, or like, I think when you buy someone gifts that could be interpreted as a romantic gesture, you're making a mistake. Now, if you buy somebody, like, if it was our birthdays and stuff like that, she'd be like, I got you today for lunch. What do you want from Subway? Like, there ain't nothing romantic about Subway. You know what I mean? Like, so it was just like, those were simple things, but it can, if I bought her flowers or was like, I know these are her favorite things, like, you're making it personal. Like, you're taking it to a different level. And that's where it starts to get really, really sticky. Because then it's like, I mean, come on. I don't care if those fucking flowers were black. You still bought her flowers. Like, that just, it is what it is. Like, that's a little more effort than, I got you today. It's your birthday? Fuck it. I'm ordering 2 pizzas. Like, come on. Like, that's a different thing. So, it's gonna put stress on the relationship. And then, how did the was it his wife or his girlfriend? She found them?
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because he's an idiot and an asshole.
Yeah.
He got them delivered when he thought they wouldn't be. When he thought she wouldn't be there, and she was there.
And then that's what she,
My God.
Why did he have him delivered to work?
Why'd you have him delivered at the crib?
And because that's what I wanted to say, and that's why I asked this. Because if I understood correctly, just in life, sir, you're an asshole. Regardless of the flowers. Like, that's an asshole move. Like, you know what you should have done? Mm-hmm. You should have bought fucking 2 bouquets of flowers, one for your girl and then one for the workplace if you felt compelled to buy flowers. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Shit. If I came home and there was a new PlayStation game and I was like, oh, who'd you get this for? And my wife was like, oh, I heard T really wants this game. I'm going to be like, oh, word?
You got me the steel case, right?
Right. Like, because you got him the PS4 version, you got me the PS5 version, right? Oh no? Okay, we gotta talk. Like, that's just dumb. So he's just in general in life, he probably drives a white F-150 raised, probably a flag of some sort dangling off the top, a tread on me sticker, and America love it or leave it. Or you keep the change, I'll keep my guns. He's that type of guy.
I disagreed with one thing you said in all that. Subway, I feel, is the most sexualized of all the fast foods.
Because you can go 6 inches or 12.
Whoa. You know what?
Obviously, you guys haven't been to Hardee's before.
Oh, Carl's Jr., you mean?
Oh.
All right, Aunt, my apologies. Go on, sir.
I think both of them are an asshole, honestly. I'll just keep it at that.
Why is she the asshole?
I kind of feel like carnations are like the cheapest flower. Like, they are the bare minimum they're right above dandelions. Like, right above dandelions. I remember, like, carnations, you get a carnation in school, and it was just like, them bitches fall apart right away. Carnations are the bare minimum of, like, flower when it comes to flowers. I understand, like, he did it in an assholey way, but flowers are definitely the Hyundai Sonata of flowers.
Not the Dodge Neon?
Not even the Dodge Neon, because Dodge Neons were we'll talk about that on another episode. But it is the bare minimum when it comes to flowers. Like, they're super cheap. Like, they're like, when you Google it, like you know, all these different flowers have different meanings and stuff like that. And roses are usually what you get in a romance type of way, or tulips or anything else. So he did it in an assholey way. He shouldn't have had it sent to the house. He shouldn't have did all this. But carnations are the bare minimum when you're doing something. They are absolutely the bottom of the barrel when it comes to flowers. They are. And he might have went about it the real wrong way, but carnations are shit flowers.
Fair enough. Carnations, shit flowers. Let's get into the comments here. This is what I just felt like I just read. I regularly flirt with an extremely hot woman at work. My girlfriend doesn't feel great about it. Isn't she so annoying and insecure? Tell me I'm a victim here and should not be expecting to be considerate of the feelings of someone I have chosen to date. You're the asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Let's just scroll down to. Also, I had flowers for a work friend delivered to my house where my girlfriend would see them for reasons. Yes, you're the asshole for that nonsense. One carnation. You pick up at a grocery store, you might have been okay. This is too much. I agree with that person as well. I'm trying to see if anybody said, "Nah, you fine, bruh."
Anybody else say that?
No, they have lit this motherfucker up all the way down.
He got rickrolled.
He's at home right now punching the air.
You're the asshole. Look, many people have work spouses. The key thing here is, though, is that in a healthy relationship, the real spouse or partner needs to be in on it. My mom used to joke that all of my dad's work wives were there to keep him in line, aka keep his ego in check by dragging his bad jokes the way she would. She'd chat with him and they'd go out together on double dates and such. In a healthy relationship, this would be something you'd sit and talk about with your girlfriend. Can you believe so-and-so never has gotten flowers? I think I'm going to send her send her and some other women in the office white carnations for Valentine's Day. What do you think? Along with, we need to find some so-and-sos, so she's so great, and then we could go out on a double date. Blah, blah, blah.
It really does become like a threesome, like Mormon type of relationship. You know?
Sister wife.
I was
right
just
there.
about to say that, like, one of the key things that people tend to forget about, like, when like Mormons or Muslims like add other wives into the fold, is that the man's not in charge. The man is never in charge. Like, they approve on the women who come in and the women who are brought into the fold. Like, same thing with this. If he was really about trying to bring his friends some joy, you share it with the person that you share your full-time joy with.
I feel like if it was more about like him trying to like make a friend happy, he wouldn't have went so deep on the like she's a 10, and like all that shit. Like this dude is clearly aware of how attractive this woman is in his mind.
He's trying to set up like option B if option A fails.
It sounds like he's trying to make option B fail so he can get into that A.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, why else send the flowers to his house? Maybe he's like trying to break up with the insecure
like,
girl.
Listen, I was trying to be nice with you, and she got mad, and now I'm alone. You got that ass.
And then like he goes to work, and he tells the work wife the story, and he tries to get some sympathetic poon.
And he realizes that she don't like him.
Sympathetic Poon. We're just throwing show titles out left and right here.
Sympathetic Poon is a very good one.
Sympathetic Poon is a very good one.
Yeah. Respect it.
That's that loving poon.
It's the most giving of the poons.
Am I the asshole for being weirded out by my wife's special ice cream nights? Throwaway because I'd rather have people I know not see this. I adjusted the dates' ages to protect the identities of the deceased.
Yeah, wow, shit, people dead?
So I don't know if I've been clear about this. I don't read these ahead of time. I see the title and then I roll. I'm always taken aback by these motherfuckers.
AKA,
my guess right now is they're eating ice cream, but they're sprinkling ashes into the ice cream.
AKA, we to blame. Y'all the ones. T clears itself again.
My wife and I, 33, have been together for 5 years. While we did go to high school together in the same class, we didn't really know each other until college. It's come up in conversation that she was bullied a lot, but she never told me the names of who did it. It got so bad to the point of withdrawing in our junior year. I knew she had a lot of resentment and trauma, and did go to therapy over what happened. A couple of years ago on 11/22, my wife came home from work and was over the moon, literally grinning ear to ear. She came home with a bunch of B&Js and said, "Today's a very special day." Ben&J's.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, chill.
Okay.
Because I was like, B&J's or E&J's too. Like, still.
I got it, but B&J still is pretty funny.
They should have thought ahead and went with like Jerry and Ben's.
I thought it was maybe a promotion. I did try asking, but she refused, saying it's a secret. I figured knowing her it was probably just a spontaneous decision and didn't think much of it. Last year, on 5/14, the same thing happens. I remember when this happened last time. She still refuses to elaborate, but it's just an evening together where we cuddle up on the couch, watch a movie together. I know it's not an annual thing, because on 11/22, we didn't do it again. Well, recently, on 1/28, my wife did another ice cream night. I had to wait for a meeting before I was done, but my client was running late, so I was scrolling through Facebook when I noticed quite a few of my high school friends posting remembrances for a girl in our class named A, who passed away 1/28. One of my old high school friends posted a group photo with girl B, which captioned, "I thought 11/22 would be the worst day of my life. It's so hard being without you two. BFFs forever." Let's scroll over. 11/22 and 1/28 were both ice cream days. They are both the days that these women died. I couldn't tell if I was being paranoid, so I checked 5/14, and surely enough, another one of the girls in our class died that exact day. I wasn't close to these three, but I was incredibly weirded out. I finished the meeting, came down later that night, but I just couldn't do it. It felt so wrong, especially knowing these women had kids and family and didn't go out in nice ways. So I decided to confront my wife, showing that post. Is our ice cream nights to celebrate them dying? She got really quiet. I continue on. Probably a bad idea in retrospect. You know how fucked up that is, right? That's some serial killer level shit. I don't want to be involved, and you can keep the ice cream yourself. She started crying. I couldn't handle it. I was livid. I didn't feel any sympathy for her and walked upstairs to cool off. She ended up driving off to stay at my sister-in-law's house, and I've been getting a lot of nasty texts from her for shaming my wife's coping mechanisms, siding with her bullies. And it's not like she was commenting horrible things on their Facebook posts, so just man up and support her. I know I probably could have handled it much better, but it was just too fucking weird for me. So I'm wondering, am I the asshole? Edit, for clarity, I didn't realize that they were bullies until her sister-in-law called. My wife is very private about her trauma. Shocking. Edit 2, I don't know how many people need to keep asking, but my wife does not like sharing details. I respected her boundaries and haven't pushed on the topic. The only bullies she told me about were a group of guys on our football team, so I naturally didn't associate these women with them, which is my fault.
I mean, not eating the ice cream's not going to bring these women back.
Again, this has been deleted, and I cannot. This
one's hard to call. Like, I don't. This is.
Yeah, like I really don't have like anything to say.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're both a little assholey, but then not really assholey at all. This sounds like just bad coping mechanisms. I mean, I'll say he's the asshole for disrespecting that ice cream, though. I mean, he could be mad and still be like, well, let me just see what you got in that basket real quick. Like, don't disrespect the ice cream, I guess is the real thing. But
if it was Chunky Monkey, I'll allow it.
Right, Americone Dream? Shit, I'll fuck that up. But
I do like Americone Dream.
It's good.
I kind of feel like some of the fudge covered pieces, they kind of bother me because some are crispy and some are not. Make them all crispy, Ben and Jerry.
Nah, I like the contrast. I got that too. I mean, you get those ones with the cores, like the raspberry core. Man, I fuck with that. But I digress. Like she needs therapy and she needs to cope with what's going on. And I think they both need to go together so that they can learn to communicate with each other. I could see saying some dumb shit like that and being in retrospect like, you know what, I should have been just like, hey, like what's really going on? I think this is the thing, like talk to me about it. But when you're in the heat of the moment, you're like, are you fucking celebrating death? You're crazy. Like you say stuff like that, and then, but everything, hindsight, right? 2020. So I don't know. I don't really see an asshole in this. I see poor relationship communication. I see someone with scars that's not really ready to work through them. And like I said, I see disrespect for ice cream, and that's where that makes me the most unhappy. Right. B and J did not call it like, fucking cremation ice cream or anything like that. Like they made it for fun.
There's a good bank of comments here, so I'm gonna rattle through some of these. There's 3 people who almost killed me, and I celebrate the day I found out one of them was in jail. Don't know if I'll get ice cream for their deaths, but there will definitely be joy in my heart those days. This person says, the day my ex-stepfather dies, that's going to be an annual ice cream day. May he rot in hell.
This sounds like Twitter the day Kobe died.
That's kind of true.
This person says, celebrating the death of a horrible person doesn't seem aberrant. This is just another instance of victims being expected to act like abuse isn't a big deal or act like people are better than they were just because they're dead. She can go dance on their graves for what they did to her. Bullying is abuse.
This definitely sounds like Twitter the day Kobe died.
Because then you got to think of this too, like, because it made me think too, like, is she a serial killer? And was she just monitoring Facebook like, these motherfuckers are going to be dying? Because it's not one. We got 3 people out here who had, what did you say, like, harsh deaths? I'm like,
It did say that he said they did not go in a good way.
Right.
So I don't know how they
someone's
went.
cutting some brake lines, like doing some Home Alone shit on the porch with like ice water, like,
Man, there's like some private investigator right now that saw this, and this is going to be the big break in the case.
Shit.
Yeah.
No kidding.
The ice cream
Right.
cone
Hey,
killer.
they're going to take footage of this podcast and put it in Unsolved Mysteries.
Forensic files.
Right?
All right, here's a nice little chunky comment. It's got 50 likes, so it's a pretty decent comment. Or a comment that is well liked, I'll say. I think Reddit views bullying on the same level they view cheating. I agree that both are terrible things that are always wrong, and the person who does them is always wrong. But the level it's taken to on Reddit, everyone remotely associated with those actions is wrong as well, unless they intensely ostracize the perpetrator. Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband because he didn't quit his job when they hired the guy who bullied my brother in high school? No. Bullies must be outcast from society. Your husband is basically perpetuating the trauma of your brother's childhood bullying. Those are in quotes. That's just, they're clowning. Am I the asshole for refusing to go to the wedding where the best man's girlfriend is a woman who didn't tell the husband of her boyfriend's after partner that his wife was cheating on him with her boyfriend? No. If she had some knowledge of infidelity and didn't reveal it, she is basically the cheater herself. And if the best man is friends with such a woman, he's a tool. And so is the groom. And so was the person who invited you. You should call the boss and tell them they are probably all stealing from the company. Yo, the internet be wildin'.
That comment sums it up, though, in that, like, people just, they paint with such broad brushes, and then you're guilty by association. Like, I mean, you know, to bring it back, like, I talked about my buddy earlier in the show. Like, I'm sure there are people that are hear that, and then they're going to be pissed at me for not, like, cutting him out of my life and defriending him and all that kind of shit. Just, like, I don't agree with any of his shit, but, like, you know, I'm not going to, like, throw out 10 years of friendship just because he's fucking insane right now.
If anything,
just like these people, it's like, you know, you got bullied in high school. That doesn't mean the person doesn't get to exist in the world 20 years later. Like, I was bullied when I was younger. I'm not sitting here thinking that, like, bullies shouldn't have, like, you know, the right to live a life. Yeah, like, people make mistakes when they're younger. People grow up. People mature. People, like, shit happens, man. Like, it's not easy to hear that you shouldn't dwell on shit for the rest of your life, because, like, some people heal faster than others, and, you know, it is what it is. But, like, when you're hurt and you lash out with these, like, crazy, like, extreme level expectations of how life should resolve your pain, like, you gotta take a step back, man.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, is when he's not an asshole. He could do better with how he talks to his wife about the situation and saying, and I think we all can sign off on that. And I don't think she's an asshole either, because that's how she's dealing with her traumas. But she didn't hurt people. She just got a pint of ice cream, ate a bite of pint of ice cream, and to herself, and did not share with anybody else.
Well, in Reddit's view, she's hurting the memory of these people by celebrating they're no longer living with the ice cream.
Again,
but like you said, it's a coping mechanism, you know. And unless we're onto something here, and she really did murder these people. I think
she did.
I'm saying, like, she didn't even go and say, I'm eating this ice cream because fuck them hoes. Her husband kind of figured that out, but the reality of it is she just said, hey, we're having ice cream today, and kept the motherfucking moving.
But did she do it for months?
And so
3 times.
On three times. She did on 3 different days.
So that means she said today she went on Facebook and was like, shit, fucking Randy died? That guy could eat a dick. Let's go get some ice cream. And then months later, he was like, oh, Mary died? Shit. Ice cream time again? You know?
I like to think that those people all were anti-maskers who died of COVID. And she celebrates their death like anybody.
Like, what the fuck's going on with these people, man? They're all young. That's why it's got to be murder.
Well, we don't know if they're young. Remember,
COVID.
he said he changed the ages.
Oh, you're right.
So we don't know. But they could have still died from COVID because they could have been, like, in their 60s.
Well, fuck, I would hope they were young, because if she's, like, you know, older and still holding on to this shit to this degree, man, that had to have been a rough existence.
And they said, we don't know what her bullying was. We hear bullying and we think, I don't know, picking on him, or Jones on or something or something like that. It could have been some physical abuse. It could have been any number of things. And like I said, ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch. So can't call it, man. And I'm just going, Nobody's an asshole there. You just kind of feel bad for everybody. You know?
And I think that's what it is.
Yes, he can be a better human being and talk to his wife better. And maybe he has, or so forth. So we can't fucking call it. But
I'll give him like a tiny bit of leeway because that shit would be shocking as fuck. It's like, so
for sure. That's why I said he's not. Again, that's why I'm not saying at all he's an asshole because he's just not. He was taken aback.
Yeah, I would be.
Plus, he got on that you know what I'm saying, the red threads on the corkboard, motherfucker putting it together and like, wait a minute, I had ice cream on this day and on this day. I don't really recall when I had ice cream. That's wild to me that he was just like one of them dudes who held on.
And
to
the fact that he had been asking too, like, so what's the event? And she was like, we're just having ice cream. You know,
she was being nefarious, man.
This is either real and she really did murder these people. Or this is like a mystery author testing their books like set up.
Yeah.
It's like a focus group, but like you don't have to pay for it.
Or it's a Ben and Jerry's plant, so we start talking about flavors. What you gonna go buy tomorrow?
Yeah, mystery flavors like mystery pints.
See, that's what it is. I think it's actually this is an ice cream plant, like an industry plant type of thing.
I feel like we need
ice
to
cream. Big ice cream.
I had a pint of half and half Ben and Jerry's half baked the other day, and it was as always it was fantastic.
I feel like we need to orchestrate "Am I the Asshole" and see how far it goes on Reddit.
All right, well, there you go. You got a plan. We'll probably put that behind a paywall. Can't get that shit unless you know. If you know, you know. Which you don't, you know what I'm saying? That's how we roll. But there you go, people. That is a show. Yeah. We are wrapping it up and getting down with the get down on that one. Housekeeping, as always, please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Get it over to our YouTube channels, our Twitch channels. Give us a follow over there. I believe Vanessa is going to stream that Resident Evil 8 demo that just came out. So that is I believe she's doing that at some point this weekend. The latest
they're on Resident Evil 8 already?
Yeah.
I remember when 6 came out, I bought it and then didn't play it.
Supposedly, I don't know, I never played it, the worst of the Resident Evils.
It's not good.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can't let you go yet because I had to talk. Anytime I'm yapping at Chaufie, I gotta get it on video games. What have you been playing lately? Or what is quickly coming down the pike?
Lately, I've been playing, for some unknown reason, like I'm fucking 13 years old, been playing like a ton of Fortnite for no good reason. Been having a lot of fun with that. And actually just a lot of teaming up with like friends. So that's been a blast. Also that Immortals Phoenix Rising on the Switch. I'm playing it on the Switch just because it plays well handheld. That game is a lot of fun. I know a lot of people compare it to... like saying, "Oh, it's just like a Breath of the Wild clone." I disagree. I think it's a hybrid Assassin's Creed God of War. Like,
is that like the quirky game that I watched a trailer for? Where it was like an archangel and shit like that or whatever. It was like it looked like gods and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's kind of a little bit on the corny end. Yeah. Like the trailer I watched, it was like real bad jokes and puns and shit. And but it kind of keeps. I think it's even though it's real like corny like that, it's actually good for the game. Like it kind of keeps it lighthearted and keeps it moving. So I've been playing that like a ton, and then it's just things are so different. Like where it's like I'm not like a huge sports guy or anything, and so you won't find me and my son fucking throwing a baseball or football back to each other, but just getting time to spend with him too. Like we play a lot of like Call of Duty multiplayer Warzone shit like that. So it's just like doing like stuff to just hang with people. I mean, I'm in the crib every day or I'm at work, and so it's just like getting opportunities to like play with people is like I think the funner part right now. But I got that PS5 at home. That thing is beautiful. I love it. I just need a patch so I can start adding more storage. Got my son the X, so he's super happy with that. Except he just plays Sea of Thieves, so I'm like, I don't know why I bought you this expensive ass console to play that whack ass game. But it's just been that's kind of like been my big stuff lately. Also, just with like work shit, I'm fucking tired. So it's like I haven't had the energy to just dip into a new game. I did play that Destruction All Stars that's free this month on PS Plus.
What'd you think?
Okay, it suffers from everything that multiplayers have in their first release, especially if they're new. The interface is weird, the menus are off, the party matchmaking is like really weird. If you're a fan of like Twisted Metal back in the day, you'll love this game. If that wasn't your shit, like, then just keep it moving. Like, you'll be fine. You won't miss much. Actually, really made me want to go back and play Rocket League because it's a little more focused and centered. But it was fun, but I don't see myself playing it again. So that's kind of where I am on the game stuff right now.
I copped Hitman 3.
Right.
And I was talking to Ant about how Hitman, I played Absolution. Loved Absolution. But it kept crashing. I got to a certain point on the Xbox 360 and it kept hard crashing and then losing my progression. And so I ended up just being like, well, fuck you, Hitman. Yeah. And then it came out a few years ago and John Baum was so hype about it. I was like, well, I'll try it. And I'm like, nah, just don't do it for me. Hitman 2 came out. And I'm just like, well, I know Hitman 1 didn't do it for me, so why bother? But this one, everybody I've been talking about. And I had like a $50 Best Buy card. I was like, well, it's basically free money. Fuck it. I bought it. And I bought it and I played through that same first mission that is in all three games. And it just got
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, immediately. And so I was like, well, fuck, man. If I really want the whole story, then I need the other two games because you can transfer or whatever. So I went and dug up Hitman 2 from the exchange, and that transferred those missions over. But I could not. I own Hitman 1, but I own it by Xbox Games with Gold. But because I owned it digitally, it just wouldn't work to transfer it over. And so I was like, man, what the fuck? And I was like, let me just see if somebody is selling that access somewhere. And I jumped on eBay last night, and somebody had the Hitman 1 stuff for Hitman 3 for $15. And I was like, that seems like a bit too good to be true. And I read it, and it was like, all right, here's what you got to do. After you buy it, hit me up on Discord and so forth. I'm like, you know what, man? I'll pay with PayPal. If it's some shady shit, fuck it. I'll get my money back via PayPal. So I did it. And dude hit me up on Discord today. Was like, oh, hey, what's good, man? I'm like, I'm straight. What's the word? He goes, okay, you got a VPN? I go, I do have a VPN. Because it's been being advertised to me on everybody's podcast. So I finally bought the Express VPN. He go, all right, this is what you do. Switch to Argentina and then give me a minute. So I switch it to Argentina and I wait a minute. He come through with a code. He go, all right, all you got to do is log in your Xbox account and drop this code in. It's just a standard Xbox 5x. And sure as shit, it worked. And now I have all of it.
Oh, shit. That's tight.
So, word to my man who's selling the Argentinian Xbox codes.
That's what's up. That's fucking tight.
So, I'm off tomorrow. So, basically, like a 3-day weekend. And the kids have school tomorrow. And so I am definitely, after I get them off to school and so forth, probably gonna sit and start Hitman 3 in earnest. I got a lot of games right now. I bought Last of Us 2. Okay. And I started it and I was just like, I'm not ready for this. I'm just not. I'm not in a good place for it. And I'm like, nope, not yet. I got Valhalla. Vanessa's sister and her husband bought me Valhalla on PlayStation 5.
And made you okay?
I kind of want to play Valhalla.
Damn.
I kind of want to play it, but I kind of don't want to play it. Because I played all the Assassin's Creed on Xbox, so it's like weird to have it on PlayStation. So that one is still in the plastic, but I got it. And then I downloaded Falconeer from Game Pass today, and something else on Game Pass recently. And I also downloaded that Control Ultimate Edition on PlayStation 5 because I'm like, well, fuck it. I play Control and it's really good, but the Ultimate Edition, I wouldn't mind fucking around with some ray tracing and stuff. So, yeah. So, that's what's going on in the realm of gaming. Like I said, me and Chaufie are gamers, so I wouldn't talk. I mean, and we ain't talking about gaming in a hot second, so there you go. It just worked out.
I did.
Sorry.
I beat Streets of Rage.
Oh, shit.
Already, you did. Did you and the lady knock it out together? Or
We
did you finish
knocked it out together.
That's dope, bro.
It was fun.
I love it. Did you unlock the what is it? What was
Axel?
it? Yeah, your Streets of Rage 2 characters, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's in all the games.
Okay. Yeah.
I wish I could have unlocked Skates though.
Hey, who knows what's going on in that game? But like I said, go hit us up on YouTube and Twitch and so forth. Like I said, we got some streaming probably going this weekend. I just posted an episode of Podcast the Vinyl Edition up there, which is actually getting some burn, which is weird because that show it gets a few views and I'm okay with that. But it's whatever. It's getting some people are watching it, and I have no idea why. But thank you for watching it because that's dope of you. If you want to help,
do you feel? Sorry,
go on.
Just the Streets of Rage thing. Do you feel like Skates was culturally appropriate?
Yeah.
I mean, like, accurate. Like, because I'll be honest, like, most of the people that I know rollerblading are black.
I don't know. I'm black. Most of my friends were black, and they rollerbladed, but I didn't. So it could go either way.
But are you openly black?
Yeah.
If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks or so away, you can join us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. You know what I'm saying? It keeps the zooming and keeps us popping over yonder, and it's just it keeps the mic cords going. You know what I'm saying? Because literally we just had to replace Gabe's mic cord and got Ant a shock mic for his microphone. So it does go toward the overall goal of keeping our production quality decent and our sound quality in check and so forth. So if you are a fan of that, hey, jump in, man. Give us some support over here. We also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stage, Crunchy Milk, all one word. Good quality shirts, and if you're still, if you want to check that out and want to believe that I'm saying that we are doing that, give us a little bit of feedback or write us a review and let us know that you wrote a review so we are aware that you wrote a review, and you could win a shirt. Because that's what's popping right now. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to give us a call. It's 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8763. Before I knew Chaufie was officially going to be on the show, I was like, just call us then, man. If you can't be on, just hit us up and I'll play it on the show. But luckily, he got to jump in on this. So, all to the good there.
I'd settle for a tweet from people. I mean, seriously. Like, what you did last week, just by, like, mentioning us on Twitter, kind of, like, made my day that day. Like, then T texted us, like, a day or two after that. It was, like, some dude I'd never heard of. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But it was like one of this comedian said that, like, he talked about us on this podcast he was on. And I never heard any of these people, and that's like exciting for us that, like, we've been doing this for so long to have people like T knows a lot of people. T is very internet friendly. People are drawn to him on the internet. He avoids confrontation. Like, I seem to get the other end of the spectrum where, like, I could be minding my own business and I have crazy people shouting at me for some fucking reason. But to, like, wake up and hear that, like, someone I never heard of said, like, willingly, without a gun to their head on the internet, that they enjoy what we do. I actually went and listened to that podcast that they were on that day. Like, not necessarily like a narcissist thing where I wanted to hear, like, the shout out, but, like, it may feel like what we do here has some value. Because sometimes it feels like we're talking into the abyss.
Yeah, and so it's dope when folk give shouts out and show love, and so please do just that.
and I don't want to make it sound like I don't appreciate the people that do and do regularly. Like, I'm very open and honest about how much I appreciate it. It was just nice to, like, it's like you're with the same one for so long. Sometimes you want to be some strange.
You're like, oh, using the left hand today. Okay.
Or you just want to give her some carnations.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as we wrap it up, Chaufie, man, tell the people where they can get at you and tell them about yourself and so forth.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure,
on. Let
for
them
sure.
know.
Yeah, you guys can hit me up on Twitter at that Chaufie. That's spelled Chaufie. Yeah, I like to kick it there a lot. You won't find me on, like, Discords or other things because that's got too many channels. But yeah, You can catch my podcast Cadillac on Mars, and our same for our Twitter handle as well at Cadillac on Mars. Like I said, it's just more of a conversational podcast. We come out first of the month, like I said, Bone Thug style. Even though East 199 is the better track, let's just recognize. But we're just there to have fun. Then we get a little serious, we get a little foolish. If you love this show, you'll like ours too. And like how Lunchbox is saying, it's just when you get some acknowledgement from your non-regular friends, it's like, oh shit, people are listening, And so we've been getting some traction, we've been getting some good feedback, and it's nice to hear it, because it's like it's good when your homies are listening, because it's just like you got something to talk about. But when that random comes in, it's like, ooh, who are you in those tight pants? Let's talk. So you can find me out here. Just hit me up. I'm always down to like chop it up. I love getting ridiculous online and just having fun and just being a fool. But man, thank you guys for having me on today. You guys are really the best. Even when I go through ruts where I don't feel like listening to podcasts, I still always listen to this one, because you guys always have good conversations. Your personalities play well off each other. Even when Gabe does fall asleep, like he's still here in spirit.
He's holding together like a champ tonight, though.
He's rocking, man.
he had that power nap in the middle, and he got it going.
Whoa. He's on that second win. So thank you guys for having me again. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, and I was getting a little nervous because my Oreos were going to be late. They were supposed to be here yesterday, and then they were said not coming until Friday. So I was stressing, and then it said, boom, they were here today. So it all came together. Shout out to Lady Gaga, a.k.a. Beyonce Oreos. AKAs.
Oh my God, yo, that's Tatum 216.
Hello.
That's Lunchbox 2099.
Supposedly,
it's the real ODP.
That is.
Trust me,
we're all thrown off because like you chopped our like shit at the beginning of the show. So now like we get here like we don't know what to do anymore.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Also, there's always a bit of a gap on Gabe's time. Gabe is always hearing us from the past. Trust me, I edit the show every week. I always have to move Gabe's track along as it goes. It's just how it works. It's just like it's just enough of a difference that he's like he's hearing us from further back.
I'm from the past.
From the year 2000.
I am the Internet Table 713. You have just been podcasting, and I know you love it.
Better have.
Peace.
You better have. That's so raw.
Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna be eating some ice cream.
Questioning my fluidity.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.